Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your host, Kalder Ness. This episode, we're jumping right into a Deadpool Weapon X set review, focusing on the commons, uncommons, and rares. This is episode 518. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix
help.
It's over, Simeon. I have the high ground.
Instant deadpan humor.
Over six people think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America.
That was just you in a costume.
Absolute fools.
Simeon will be able to edit that out, I'm sure.
That's cool because it's expensive.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever.
Are you kidding? Wow, wow, wow. Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. And if you want to get clicks straight from the source, you can go to shop.whizkids.com and use code DIALH10 for 10% off your Heroclix order. Doesn't work with Iconics, certain promotions, and pre-orders. Joining me in the studio is Simeon Bruce. What's going on, Simeon?
Ooh, got burned today.
It was a hot one out there.
Yeah. It was hot. There was not a lot of wind, and the UV index said danger. So of course, no sunscreen.
So of course, no sunscreen, no sleeves. Looking red, looking good.
No sleep. I can't do the farmer's tan in Omaha. It's impossible.
That's fair.
So, what would all the people think if
They'd make fun of me.
when I rarely wear a tank top around town? What would they say? But no, yeah, that's what's going on.
Okay.
It's summer's heating up. It's getting spicy.
It really is just feeling like summer outside. So, whatever. We're in late May. That sounds about right, I guess, for summer getting a rolling. But right on. What made you happy this last week, my man?
Ooh, I've got a couple things for this.
Nice.
So I added it late to the episode last time because I received it after we recorded. But listener and fan of the show, Miles Kane, sent me. I don't know if this is still accurate, but as of the point of receiving it, it was the first and only chase patch from the Deadpool Weapon X set.
Whoa!
Yeah, he got it from Huntington's and sent it to me. It's signed. It's one of one. Maybe there's going to be a distribution error, and it's the only one, and that'll be interesting.
Oh.
But as of right now, yeah, I think I have the only chase patch, which is really exciting. It's got a special place on my shelf right now, and I hadn't even seen the sculpt before I opened the box. I don't know how I missed it, if I just missed like the Facebook post where it was pulled or what, but I hadn't even seen the sculpt, and so it's cool. He's on like a little dock thing. It's like a set of stairs.
Okay.
I don't know. He's like kind of like hunched over, one claw popped, kind of just like contemplating, looking for clues. I don't know what he's doing, but it's a cool little sculpt, and of course Madripoor has a special place in my heart, being somebody that's from a fictional place. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
But no, it was really cool.
Dang, that is awesome. Like, holy smokes. Dang. Shout out Miles. All right. That is seriously so cool, though. Like, ultra super pre-release chase of the newest set coming out. That's sick.
Yeah. And for no reason, just because, he likes the show, he likes us. And so that was, it was really, it's always nice to hear from fans. It's always nice to be appreciated for all the hard work that we do. We really just grind away at this show. It's
so tough.
You guys think that it's easy being this funny and handsome, but it's not. It's not. But no, the other thing that made me happy was I've been checking out this Facebook Marketplace. Have you heard of this? There's
Facebook, yeah. I mean,
a whole marketplace on Facebook where you can buy and sell. And I bought a home gym, like an all-in-one home gym. And
okay.
It was a guy in Council Bluffs, so I had to. It was actually like way further. I thought it was like right, Council Bluffs. It takes like 10 minutes. You hop on the interstate, you're there. This was like the far east. Yeah.
Farthest corner of Council Bluffs imaginable.
It really was. It was like city limits on like the east side, so it was actually like farther than I thought.
Oh.
The guy had said, I hurt my back, so I won't be able to help you like carry this out, blah blah blah. It's in the garage. And I was like, okay. Thinking like my garage or no, he said basement, sorry. Said it's in his basement. So I was thinking like my basement attached to a garage. So there'll be like a entry level like way to get into it kind of thing. That's what like my assumption was going. I show up and he's like, did you bring any tools? And I was like, no. Like, why? And he was like, oh, it's not going to be able to come out in one piece. You're going to have to like break it down. And I was like, oh. And then he like shows me it and I was like, oh, it's going to take a lot to like break this all down. So I broke it into 4 pieces, like there's 2 seats. Of course, the little like poles that the weights slide up and down. And then
Sure.
Another bar that was just like a structural kind of like piece. And so I broke it all down. Probably took me like an hour. It took a long time. And he just dipped out. He like brought me a box of tools and was just like, I think everything you need is going to be in there. See ya. And then he just like dipped out. So I'm just in a stranger's basement.
That's so weird.
Breaking
He just
apart,
left
like,
you at his house?
Yeah. And I finally got it all done and carried it all up. And now it's sitting in my garage completely still unassembled because I have to clean my basement before I can set it up. But it's still cool. I've always wanted one of those like home gyms, and this is one that's... It's not like the nicest. It's not like Bowflex or something like that, but it will definitely get like the job done. And I'm excited to not have to do the whole like rigmarole, of like shower, make sure I have my water bottle, my protein, get dressed, like all that stuff to go to an actual gym. Now I can just walk downstairs if I feel like it. So it's exciting.
The ultimate in modern convenience, luxury, home gym.
Yeah, no one to judge, no one to, well, I guess Milo might judge me, but what's new there?
He's always judging. He's always looking like he's judging something.
Yeah, right now he's judging the floor very closely.
Oh.
AKA he's completely passed out.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you do the classic Facebook Marketplace lowball, or...
I did not.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What a respectable human being.
I hate haggling. I hate, I know it's like in like some cultures and some people that's just like fun. Like they just enjoy that aspect.
Yeah.
I always put like make offer when I do stuff on eBay. I absolutely hate when somebody actually makes an offer on eBay. Unless it's like reasonable, you know. But I hate like the haggling aspect. And so he had it for, I think $250 is what he had it for. And I looked it up and like brand new, it was like 70 or 750 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And that was like brand new inbox. You have to build the whole thing. And I was like, well, I only have to like build some of this. Or at the time I thought, I don't have to build any of this. I'll just put it in my sister's
pull it
truck.
out.
And yeah. But yeah, so I thought $250 was very reasonable. And yeah, so I just went with it. I was just like, I'm not going to argue.
Well, sweet. That's always good. Getting a good deal. That, to me, $500 off is pretty dang good. So, right on. What made me happy this past week, I drove down to old Arkansas. Little land of the free, home of the brave, little Arkansas, little Ozark-ish territory, and hung out with a superfan listener of the show, Matt Reed, and we helped kind of run the IPF tournament that some of you guys saw on the live stream this past weekend. It was all right. We didn't have a great showing. We were at a totally new venue that like doesn't have Heroclix, never ran a Heroclix event before, you know, so I wasn't expecting the showing to be great. But we were able to raise about $300 for the IPF, so that was pretty cool. And it was just pretty fun. Play a little 300 Modern. I haven't played any like competitive Heroclix since last December, I guess, for the Champion Clicks qualifier. So it was fun to kind of get out there, have some fun, play some games. And then once all the Heroclix fun stuff was over, Matt and I got to play some games at his place. So we played Evil Dead 2 a couple of times. That was pretty good. We We played Dice Throne finally all the way through. We played some Dice Throne. That was really fun. Matt needs to work on his poker face. The character Loki has like illusions, and what you do is there's like 3 of them, so it's kind of a shell game. You shuffle them up, and then you lay them face down, and the opponent has to choose which one it is. And he was like, "Ooh, Calder, whatever you do, don't choose this one. Oh, you don't want to choose this one." And there were about 2 times where I didn't succeed, but it was really funny because he was always like, "Oh, choose this one. No, choose this one." And then I was like, "You know what? I think I actually will choose this one that time." And it was a success. And I was like, it was like, "Oh, I was bluffing." And I was like, "No, no, sorry, Matt. You gotta think maybe a little faster than that. Gotta be a little bit more clever." So that was just super fun playing Dice Throne. What else did we play? We played Legendary. It was really funny. Matt was like, "Have you ever played Legendary?" And I was like, "I played it once, like forever ago." And Legendary has just been that Marvel card game that I always see at comic book stores and always see at game stores, but have never really been interested in playing it. And it was actually really fun. So we like the making a deck aspect and slowly collecting your characters is really cool. So like Legendary actually had like a really fun time playing. So had a good time hanging out with everybody, seeing the folks that came out to play. Shout out Eric Adams.
Reunion of
yeah.
What were you guys? The team.
I don't even know what we called ourselves, honestly, but our from
of the fellowship, the team
of the fellowship, yeah, team. So last year at Heroclix for Huntington's, Spencer White, Matt Reed, and myself, we all won the fellowship during teams. So that was a pretty fun little reunion. I actually got to play against Spencer, which I think is like one of the first or second games I've ever even played against Spencer. So like that was really fun that day, and it was good seeing Spencer again and hanging out with everybody. So it was really fun. So yeah, a little mini team reunion there was always great. Yeah, it was a blast. And on the way down, you drive through this little city called Kansas City, and inside this little city called Kansas City may or may not be just right off the interstate, right off the highway, a magical little restaurant, Simeon.
S&S?
A little S&S. had a little steak and shake, classic Frisco melt with the double bacon cheeseburger. However, I gave their cookie dough shake a try this time instead of my Reese's shake I always get, which was pretty good, like 7, 8 out of 10, not quite as good as the Reese's shake, but still a very solid shake. So overall, that especially made the trip, being able to get a little S&S, a little steak and shake in me. It's good stuff.
So
but all right,
always got to refuel.
You have to. When you go, geez, I think at that point it'd been more than
hang on,
a few months.
Let's find ChatGPT here.
Oh no.
ChatGPT.
Eerie.
We need make me a Green Lantern. What is that? The saying? Oath?
Oath?
Green Lantern oath, but based on steak and shake.
Oh no.
Let's see what we get here. ChatGPT is typing. We have movement.
This is terrifying. I don't know if I like this.
Interesting. It's
in brightest shake.
This might take
in
it a
dark
while.
Shake.
Earlier, I just typed in like a gibberish sentence, like
sure,
words and vowels and things that like actual words. Oh, okay, we've got something. In brightest grill and darkest night, no burger's flavor shall escape my sight. With steak and shake's mighty milkshake hand, I'll churn the taste buds of this culinary land. Let those who hunger for a classic bite fear not, for I, the steak and shake knight, shall defend the menu day and night, with steak burgers, fries, and shakes in sight. By the power of the steak and shake ring, I'll cook the perfect patty every time I sing. For justice, for flavor, for steak and shake's might, I'll forever stand a gastronomic light.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, AI is it's winning. Like we can't compete with that. That was quick, and that's very good.
That was quick. Dang. The steak and shake night. Oh, that was a good one.
I'll have to put I'll have to copy and paste this and put this
Oh,
in,
no, yeah. You got to put it in general. Yeah, 100%. Got to toss it in there. Goodness, I think there's no better note than that than to move on to the set review, because there's nothing else we can say in this portion of the show that beats the Green Lantern Steak and Shake oath. Steak and Shake night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into the Deadpool Weapon X set review. We're just doing commons, uncommons, rares. We've been kind of experimenting with how we do the set reviews. The last few have been chases and super rares first. This time, we're going to break it into a pulp focus kind of set review here for the CUR. And then next week, we'll jump into the high rarity stuff. Maybe have a little bit more time, depending on how much time we have in this episode or next week's episode. We'll try to get to some listener questions. But Simeon, seems only right. Wolverine is 001. If you want to kick us off here.
Oh, yeah. And what a classic. Speaking of Wolverine 001, got the pose from the very first solo issue of Wolverine. So, great pose, great costume. Wolverine, he has the X-Men team ability, Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, and martial artist keywords. He is got a single attack power, his whole dial, that is, I'm the best there is at what I do. Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Wolverine uses it after resolutions, deal an opposing character adjacent to either Wolverine or the hit target damage equal to half the result. He has an alternating dial of charge stealth, so starts with an 8, 12, 18, 3, and then goes to, stealth, blah, blah, blah. Toughness, perplex for his first 3 clicks. And then his last 3, he gets Battle Fury and Regen. Just a very good, very classic Wolverine dial. Obviously you want to roll the 6 and then deal somebody next to you or next to the person you hit 3 damage. But even if you roll a 5, you're dealing them 3 damage. And, there is a certain X-Men team that really likes having Blades, Claws, Fangs on the team. So,
true.
I don't think he's breaking into the 300 modern meta, but I could see this being like a very economical 50-point piece, and it's obviously very solid and sealed. Being able to be a 13 attack or have a 5 square reach, a lot of options. And not for nothing, it does take a little bit to put him down. Not like a ton, but does take some effort.
No, I like this Wolverine a lot. I think it's a fun little stab you, and yeah, you know what? Stab you just a little bit though, just a little tiny little extra little stab. I think it's a fun little effect though, and I think it's really cool for a common figure and being the hallmark 001 first off Wolverine in the set.
Yeah.
Next up, the second main character of the set. Yeah, I hope you guys don't get tired of us saying Wolverine and Deadpool, because we're going to say it about 1 million times in this episode and the next episode. But Deadpool 002, he is a wild card. He's 70 points. Deadpool core, Weapon X, X-Men, Assassin, Soldier, and Spy keywords. He's got a kind of split dial, so the first 4 clicks are Charge, Blade, Super Senses, and Exploit, and the last 3 are Sidestep, Precision Strike, Combat Reflexes, and Close Combat Expert. He is an 11 for 2 top dial, and he does have 2 targets and 0 range. This is a very stabby Deadpool, not so much a shooty Deadpool. His only trait is Unkillable Mercenary. At the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6 and place it on this card, replacing any other dice on this card. / regeneration. When Deadpool uses it, if there is a d6 on this card, he may use that d6 as the result instead of rolling. If he does, remove that d6 from his card. So really, until he actually needs to heal, you can just keep rolling a d6 and then replacing it if you don't ever get a 6 or something really high, or a 5 at the very least, So you can just kind of keep doing that until, oh shoot, Deadpool finally took damage. I'll go ahead and heal him. I won't lie, 75 points seems like a bit much for this Deadpool. The regen, I don't know, keeping him top dial just kind of keeps him from dying, but he's kind of in a better attacker down dial when he's a 11 for 4 at close with sidestep, close combat expert, all that stuff. So the dial doesn't seem to be working with the healing as well. I don't necessarily want to keep him top dial, at least when it comes to attacking. But yeah, it's like keep him alive, I do. But man, when he's an 11 for 4 down dial, it's a little bit better. And I can target 2 people as an 11 for 4 with precision strike versus target 1 person with Blade's exploit. Or I guess I can target 2 people with exploit, but only deal them 1 if I heal all the way back up to full. It's kind of tricky. Yeah. So it's just kind of a dial that I don't know if it totally works within itself super well, but it's a fine Deadpool to get us started.
Yeah. I think the only gripe that I have about it is the 70-point line is a little awkward for being 002 in the set. So you've got like Wolverine at 50 and then immediately a 70-point. And then speaking of that, immediately another 70-point. But no, I think it's obviously something to keep in mind for sealed and stuff because Blades plus exploit is always, we'll have to get through the rest of the set to see how many reducers and stuff there is. But, a 6 on Blades with exploit can definitely just tank somebody.
That is true. It is a solid enough sealed piece just to be able to like be a charge exploit piece.
Yeah. And it potentially, not likely, but potentially can one-shot 001 and 003. So 003 is, once again, it's Wolverine. This is cowboy hat, taped up hands Wolverine with a black tank top. This is actually one of my favorite costumes, is just like when he was doing... His adventures were not like X-Men based, not...
okay.
I don't know, it's just like solo run stuff. Kind of like...
This seems very like... Jumping on the Harley, hitting the open road Wolverine, kind of, yeah.
Like Lone Wolf Wolverine it's a fun avenue to take. Obviously, it's fun to watch like Wolverine or read about Wolverine and like teams and like big events and stuff. But also just like, gosh, I can't remember the name of like the solo series. It was like a 4-issue series that was just called Brotherhood, and it was like him versus. He like moved into an apartment complex and it was just him versus like the mean bikers of the apartment complex that were like, making everyone else's life like miserable.
It's funny.
And it's like no big stakes like for him, but very like human interactions and stuff. Anyhow, 003, he has the team player team ability and X-Men team ability. He's got Alpha Flight, Weapon X, X-Men, Animal, and Soldier keywords. He has 1 trait. No special powers. His trait is Let's Go, Bub. Free. Roll the d6. Wolverine can use the resulting effect until your next turn. On a 1, he gets Battle Fury. On a 2, he gets Combat Reflexes. On a 3, he gets Blades, Claws, Fangs. On a 4, he gets Regeneration as free. And on a 5, he gets Flurry. And then 6 is choose any number of other results. So potentially every result. Like on a 6, you get Battle Fury, Combat Reflexes, Blades, Regen as free, Flurry. It's a 1 in 6 shot, so it's not reliable, just like Deadpool one-shotting him, which Deadpool technically could do, but it is a really cool aim effect. If you play this guy in sealed and you pop off, you hit that 6, you're a 12 for 3 with Battle Fury Blades, Battle Fury Blades and Combat Reflexes, and Regen potentially if you need to heal up. Mid dial, he goes from Charge, 12 attack for 3 damage, and Invuln to Sidestep, Precision Strike, Super Senses. And then bottom dial, he has Stealth, Steel Energy, a 15 with Invincible, and 4 damage. So if you get a 6 on those last couple clicks and you actually happen to be adjacent to somebody, it's a rough day for them. But yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Potentially a 20 defense for close attacks up top. His defense does like really tank. So if you're, this guy's a gamble essentially. Like if you're playing this in sealed, you probably didn't pull something crazy like good, but this is a bit of a gamble that can definitely pay off because top dial especially, a 12 for 3 with Blades, 20 defense for close attacks. Getting around shape change. Again, we don't know how much shape change is in the set, but there's probably a Mystique. I think we saw a Mystique. So there's going to be some... there's one right there. There's going to be some shape change in this set, and having access to Battle Fury is always good for that.
I love this figure. I think this is a really, really cool trait. I think it's really fun. 70 seems like, I guess, a lot to pay for just on paper the dial you're getting. But it's really, I don't know, it's really unique. The combat values are kind of all over the place. He's this lone wolf Wolverine like you were talking about. But like, yeah, I kind of just want to put him on a bunch of teams because, man, how good is it going to feel when you finally hit that 6 and you just get to go insane like on someone? That's awesome. You know,
Yeah, I'd love
like
to see
I like this a lot.
a similar
This is a
trait to
gambler's.
this
This is
on,
a
like,
gambler's
characters.
figure. Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Like a Doctor Strange or like a mystical kind of character. Even like Iron Fist or like there's so many characters where it's like, yeah, they're like good. Like he's mad this turn, so he's just got Battle Fury, or like he's remembering his ninja ways, so he's got combat reflexes, or he like popped claws, so he's got blaze claws. You know, there's so many like options for like reasoning why he's got that power, and you can apply that to a lot of characters and make them like economically costed at like 70 or 50 or whatever, depending on the dial.
I agree. He's sweet. He's super cool. Now, this will be really easy to talk about Lady Mastermind. She is Brotherhood of Mutants Marauders, and she has the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. She's a very simple 40 points. So she has 6 range, 1 target, 6 clicks of life with a full dial of Mastermind, Precision Strike, what's it called? Mind Control, and Enhancement. And that's it. No traits, no special powers, no nothing. As pure can be, just vanilla, this Regan Wingard here. So she's a little Mastermind enhancement piece. I think she's solid and sealed. A 40-point piece that's got 6 range and 6 clicks of life. That's a pretty decent amount as far as clicks go. You know, like so far she's the cheapest one we've gotten to yet, and she has 6 clicks of life. So like that's pretty cool at 40 points. And yeah, pretty simple little enhancement piece. She'll be a fun little sealed piece. And then maybe when we get to him in just a few figures, you'll kind of see why she's built the way she is. But she's simple enough. Nothing crazy. Sorry for the Regan Wingard stands that maybe wanted a crazy Lady Mastermind, but I think this is fine.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's 6 range mind control in this day and age. I mean, this is definitely like something that you'll look at in sealed because 1, enhancement's always good.
Yeah.
2, just like a standard mind control with like 6 range is like more powerful than you would give it credit for in sealed. Don't think we'll see a lot of play in like pulp or anything. There's cheaper options for both of those things, but still, as far as like standard character goes, you normally see like mind control, precision strike combined. All right, next up is Black Widow. It's hard to talk about the characters with the hotshots traits without mentioning all of them because like,
do you want to do like a baby Groot like we did last time, and maybe like we can just cover them all at the end?
Yeah, the problem is there's also a super rare.
That is true.
So like in sealed, I'll go over it as if like you pulled this and not like the hotshots pack, because the hotshots pack actually is common, uncommon, rare. So that gives you access to Diamondback, that gives you access to Outlaw and Kamiho, is that her name? And then also Atlas Bear. So it gives you access to all of them but Domino. And Atlas Bear, if you pull the pack and you have Atlas Bear, then just imagine all of these characters have, when they have a hotshots token, they don't die. They like, Atlas Bear gives them all that trait. So Black Widow has Avengers Assassin, Martial Artist, Soldier, Spy keywords, Avengers team ability, so she has printed 11s except for her last click where she has a 12. Most of the time she's going to be a 12, and then on her last click, potentially a 13. She has Exploit Weakness, her whole dial, Combat Reflexes, her whole dial, Stealth, her whole dial, so if there's not a lot of improved targeting, then she's going to be kind of hard to hit, going to be like a 20 sometimes. Her trait is the best Avenger, so which I think is debatable. I think we talked about this. It's very debatable.
Yeah,
but
it's bold of her to say the best Avenger.
When Black Widow hits after resolutions, give her a hotshots token. that's what the premise of all the Hot Shots token is. If they hit, give them a Hot Shots. Friendly characters with a Hot Shots token have free, remove a Hot Shots token from this character to generate a smoke terrain marker in their square. At the beginning of your next turn, remove that marker. So it gives you free smoke cloud, but only for one token. And it's only in their square. So for Black Widow here, she can just be in stealth automatically if she hits. She has no move and attack. She has 4 range, triple lightning bolts. 25 points, though. I feel like just for like the option, like, I mean, it depends heavily on what other hot shot options you get, but just having a, you know, top dial 12 attack, triple lightning bolt in cap piece or exploit piece, whatever you want to, like, you know, use her for, even just a body blocker, 25 points is cheap. It's good to look at.
Just something simple. I mean, 20 defense up close, can't be shot unless they have improved, like, targeting, hindering terrain. And then when you do base her, it's boom, 3 damage exploit. Pretty solid little tie-up piece, I think, for 25 points. And she's bringing the Avengers T8 any wild cards. Pretty cool. Next up, another Hot Shots here. We have Diamond back. So real quick, shout out my girl, Rachel Layton. This is my O2P one true pairing, for those that don't know, for Captain America. You did not know that? O2P means one true pairing. OTP means one true pairing.
You ship the Diamond Cap?
I ship Diamond Cap. 100%. I'm a big ship Diamond Cap. I understand that it's always been pretty much leaning heavy toward Cap 13. That's, of course, Agent 13 in Captain America. But I ship Diamondback, personally. So, Field, Serpent Society, and Assassin. This is the first Diamondback that finally has a keyword that I can play her on a theme with Captain America. So, shout out there. Normally, she just gets like Serpent Society and some other random keywords, but her getting Shield finally means I can play her with Captain America on a Shield team. She also has a full dial of Running Shot, full dial of Energy Explosion, 5 range, 1 target, 3 damage her entire dial with no damage power. First 3 clicks, toughness. Last 2 clicks, Energy Shield Deflection. She learned that one from her Bae. You know what I mean? And then she has the Hot Shots trait, Hot Shots Demolition. So when she hits, you give her a Hot Shots token. Friendly characters with a Hot Shots trait have free remove a Hot Shots token from this character. If you do, this turn, that character can use improved targeting, destroys blocking terrain. I think this is probably... I mean, we'll get to all the Hot Shots ability here soon, but it's got to be one of the strongest ones for the more range-heavy based Hot Shots characters we're going to get to. Because being able to just boom, destroy blocking when you're making a shot is pretty huge, even if you're just opening up a door or just like whatever. So I'm a big fan of it. I like this Diamondback. Like I said, she's got shield. She can theme with Captain America. This is a costume I'm unfamiliar with. Maybe I'll have to read Hot Shots or whatever when she's doing her stealth girl costume, hood up, glasses on, trying to be incognito, but still having magenta hair in her full rest of her costume, I guess. But I like it. It's a cheap little 45-point piece, and I think it's like the best Diamondback it is the best Diamondback we've ever gotten. She's simple. She's got a little running shot energy explosion. She's throwing her little diamonds. They're blowing up. Works really well. I like this piece a lot.
Yeah. I love the costume, too.
It's unique. I don't know where...
I read this series, and I don't think this costume is from that series, but...
Oh, okay.
It is like a very... like it reminds me of like Abigail Brand. Like the shades, the like colored hair, the like hood, like all the... I don't know. It reminds me of like some like espionage kind of thing.
She's very undercover. Yeah.
A little bit of Jewel, too. Reminds me of that, of course.
A little something. A little something.
Next up is Iceman. This is not a Bobby Drake that you're used to. He is not in ice form. He is in a snow cone, ice cream, Archie Bungle looking dude.
he is jarring.
It is very strange. I don't think we've ever had like not snowy, not icy, just like I don't think we've ever had plain vanilla Bobby Drake, like no mutant power.
Which is so fitting.
It is
so fitting.
It's very cool. It's unique.
Cool.
So he has Defenders and X-Men team ability. He's not unique. I just said the sculpt is what I meant. He has Champions, Defenders, Marauders, X-Factor, and X-Men keywords. He has a trait that is Vanilla. the finest of flavors. Unique modifier, other friendly characters that can't use special powers modify attack +1. So just to like go back through, that means Diamondback has +1 attack. That means Black Widow has +1 attack. That means 003 Wolverine has a +1 attack. And that means that 002 Deadpool has a +1 attack because they don't have special powers. So those characters all modify attack +1 when he is playing with them. He has a running shot. For his first 2 clicks, he has a running shot with Incapacitate, 5 range, triple Lightning Bolt, which is what we love to see when it's Incapacitate. He also has Enhancement and ESD, so a little energy shield, putting him up to a 19 if people try and shoot at him. His last 2 clicks are Sidestep, Pulse Wave, Support, and Regen. Not the normal combo that you see. Sidestep, Pulse Wave's fine, but like Pulse Wave, Support, kind of weird.
That's a little, I don't know if I want to be close to you if you're going to Pulse Wave me.
I mean, maybe. There's some characters that might be. But yeah, with Defenders, he could easily... In a constructed environment, he could easily be copying like a 19, I think maybe even a 20. I think that might be more likely a 19. But yeah, being a 21 from range top dial, not in sealed, but like in constructed, would be interesting. And then, yeah, I think as we go through, I'll try and keep track of how many dials have no special powers. But, I mean, so far, Diamondback being a 13 top dial.
Dang.
Black Widow having Avengers plus Bobby. Iceman should be potentially a 13. Lady Mastermind being a 12. Deadpool being a 12. 003 Wolverine being a 13. Like, I mean, for 30 points, depending on what you pull, that's a really, really strong trait. And I like that it benefits the more vanilla flavors of Heroclix, like literally in the flavor text and also like in the effect. I
love figures like this. I really, really like figures like this. Not only does it have, again, a crazy unique sculpt. We've gotten a million Icemen, it feels like. It's probably like close to, like, I don't know, 100 maybe, probably not even like 50, I guess, Icemen. And it's always running shot, in cap, loser dude, whatever. Like, always so forgettable. Just, oh, he's clear blue or he's kind of white or like something. But this old ice cream cone, sweater vest looking dude, it's hilarious. And then he's like someone that the Iceman we got earlier this year, I didn't quite really want to build a team around because it was too restrictive. But this is like, yeah, this is an Iceman that I want to build a team around. I love this. I love figures that you want to build a team around, and this Iceman is like perfect. He's got some enhancement to help his team out. He's got 2 good, solid team abilities to use, any wild cards, whatever. And then rolling out some sidestep support later is really cool. Makes him a team player. I'm not actually being a team player, but I love this Iceman. And I want to see more figures, designs like this in the future. You could do one for every combat value. Maybe make someone like, if they've got no traits, modify damage +1. Like all sorts of stuff like that, where it's like the more vanilla a character is, you give them a bonus. Here's your bonus for not being as special as you could be. And that's awesome.
The thing I love about that is if it's like, it works really well with some legacy figures, because there's a lot of legacy figures with no special powers.
True.
Like 2 or 3 traits, maybe 4 traits, I think Thanos, for example, no special powers, but ton of traits. And so, thank
goodness, A60 Ultron is now a 15 attack. Oh,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to.
What we needed. But no, I do think it's, I don't know, also like breaks the fourth wall in like a small kind of way. So like,
I like, being vanilla. Yeah, it rocks. Next up, we got a little New Mutant here. We got Cannonball. He's got AIM, Avengers, New Mutants, X-Force, and X-Men. He is, of course, got the X-Men team ability. 55 points. His trait is Into the Fray. Defend, Force Blast, period. Force Blast as free, but only if Cannonball moved at least 1 square this turn. So he has a full dial of charge with an 8 speed. He's got no attack power his entire dial. He's got a full dial of toughness, and he starts off with a 19 defense for his defend, so that's really sick. And then he has a 3 damage the first 2 clicks with no damage power, and then on his last 3 clicks, he has Empower with 2 damage, and he ignores characters for his improved movement. Cannonball's a really simple little dial here, and I really enjoy it. I know some Cannonball stands were probably hoping he had like a heavier reducer or crazier speed or something. Oh, he also flies, which is really cool. So, but I think, yeah, he's defend with a 19 defend at 55 points and in a common slot for sealed, which I think is really good. And then the Force Blast is free has always been solid. I just liked Force Blast is free straight up on Iron Fist. And now we have another CUR that has Force Blast is free, but he has to move at least 1 square this turn. So now he could carry Iron Fist because he flies, Force Blast somebody, and then if you're already adjacent to the wall, you could then have Iron Fist Force Blast them again, or you just Force Blast 2 different people, mess up their formation. I really, really like this Cannonball. I think he's really fun. I think he's really flavorful. I think he's simple. And that's all that. Like, I like him a lot. I think it's a cool design.
Yeah. I like how it gives you the option to charge or full speed move and then Force Blast. Yeah.
Yeah. Or double whammy him, charge, punch him, right? And then he can Force Blast his free later since he moved 1 square this turn. It doesn't have to be right after he moves. Almost it's cool.
Tripled because like Force Blast just gives you like knockback, right? So you can charge.
Also true. Yeah.
Knockback. So charge, potentially hit him, do knockback, and then Force Blast is free because he moved. So
yeah.
If
they're already up against the wall or something, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
really messing them up.
Always one of those fun characters. Like, I don't know, it's no torpedo helmet from.
Fair enough.
Yeah, what is Peacemaker? But Cannonball's essentially his own torpedo helmet. So next up is Richter. Hardly know her is more like it.
Yo.
New Mutants, X Factor, X Force, X-Men, and Detective. Richter is the good guy Avalanche. So he's got the trait that's geokinetic. I know him mostly from X Factor comics. I don't know this particular look. The Richter that I know is like shorter hair and like wears just similar to like Jamie Madrox's kind of like look, but real name Julio Richter, which is interesting. His parents had a last name Julio Richter. His parents just like happened to have a last name that like fit similar to his powers. Interesting.
Richter.
So very interesting dial here. He's 009 in the set, has X-Men team ability. His geokinetic trait gives him Quake, and when he uses it, he deals 3 damage instead of 2. But top dial, he is Sidestep, Telekinesis, Barrier, and 3 damage. So you can potentially get up there and use Quake. Like it's possible. It makes sense. You can sidestep in and like deal 3 damage to a group. But he's a 60-point piece, 7 clicks long, and I think like the biggest utility is he's the first. Not the first, because who was it? Did we not see a TK already? I don't think.
I don't believe we've seen a TK. He is the first TK of the set, and I think first barrier.
Yeah, that's okay. Now I make sense. The first sidestep TK of the set, first barrier of the set. He is an 11 for 3, so he's still a solid attacker. He has 0 range, 1 lightning bolt, so it's only close attacks. But again, Quake deals 3 instead of 2. And then after click 3, he goes to Force Blast, Pulse Wave, which gives him a range of 4, Combat Reflexes, and Close Combat Expert, which may just be one of the wildest power combinations possible. So Quake already gives you knockback. He could be a 12 on click 4. He could be a 12 for 3, or he could Quake 12 for 3 because that's his trait. No matter what, it's going to do knockback because he has Force Blast and Quake. But then it's also like very close combat, so you're trying to get him into position where your opponent will hit him down dial, and then you can Pulse Wave, you can Quake, you can do essentially like whatever the best opportune thing, but a Pulse Wave knockback is really good. So having Force Blast plus Pulse Wave, great. You already want to be adjacent, so having Combat Reflexes is pretty decent. But yeah, little 60-point piece, destroys blocking when he moves through it. So that's also something to note, depending on what maps might be present at the time. Having somebody that can walk and sidestep through some blocking, get some clear lines of fire, that kind of thing.
Next up, Copycat here, not as broken as she used to being since she was made 10 years ago in the first Deadpool set. She has New Mutants, Weapon X, X-Force, Assassin, Celebrity, and Spy. So what is old Vanessa doing? She's 40 points. She has eerily similar powers on her top dial with Stealth, Precision Strike, Willpower, and Exploit for her first 4 clicks, and then she goes down to Flurry, Blades, Regeneration on her last 2 clicks. She has Shape Change and Sidestep traded. When Copycat uses Shape Change and succeeds, she may choose a standard power the attacking character can use. Copycat can use the chosen power until she chooses again. So just the first time she ever succeeds at Shape Change, choose a power, and that's until she chooses again. So she may, right? When she uses Shape Change and she may choose. Okay, so yeah, so if you just right away get targeted by somebody that's got some good powers and you succeed and you just get like invincible or something, you don't have to choose just because they try to like make you roll Shape Change again or whatever. So you can just stick with the power the entire game. I like Copycat. She's not a crazy great attacker, and she's not really a support piece. She just kind of exists in her own little bubble of a kind of cool piece, maybe probably a tie-up piece, I guess, with the Shape Change stealth kind of little bit she's got rolling on here. She's not particularly crazy or strong, but she's pretty thematic. She's an alright piece.
I agree. And once again, Iceman gives her a +1 attack.
Also that, boom.
not great,
11.
But like for a 70-point combo between her and Iceman, yeah. I mean, if she copies Pulse Wave, she copies a big reducer, super senses. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff that she could copy that would be quite beneficial. And yeah, so it's an interesting choice, but I feel like once again it's like one of those gamble kind of choices because 1, you have to hit Shape Change. 2, your opponent has to have decent powers. Maybe they just pull absolutely crazy and there's no standard powers for you to choose. It's like the running shot is like the only standard power that they have. Everything else is special powers. Who knows? Next up, our second 25-point piece in the set, Jeff the Land Shark. And I need to read some Gwenpool because obviously I'm losing out on all the Jeff the Land Shark lore because he has AIM,
Yeah.
Avengers, Deadpool Core, Animal, Assassin, Marksman, Monster.
So
When
I'm
does he
guessing
become a
Marksman. That's got to be because him and Kate Bishop have a book. I think I've seen her and him on a cover together. So I think that's so we can kind of theme with Kate Bishop is the idea.
Okay. Makes a little bit more
Some of those I don't know. I know like Deadpool was holding him last time we saw the
Right.
guy.
Gwenpool gave him to Deadpool because her
Yeah, like-
sending.
Yep, Gwenpool was like the first person to have Jeff the Land Shark. He's just kind of I don't think I've ever besides like some of those Gwenpool books. I don't know what Jeff has gotten up to since then. I have no idea.
I always
But
see like
now he's here eating some pizza.
yeah, it's a lot of like Facebook like comic panel pages that
Oh yeah.
will share Jeff memes or Jeff panels. But yeah, real name is Jeffrey, the first of his name of the former. Which is, man.
What does that
reminds
mean,
me-
Jeff?
That
What
reminds
is-
me of like some of my dogs and like my cat. I call her Larry. Her formal like papered name is Princess Alaria of something. And
Wow.
I don't
Wow.
remember it because like it's very hard to remember. But I also had like a dog that was Sir Bruiser Trips a lot. We just called him Bruiser because like obviously you shorten it. So yeah,
Damn,
Jeffrey,
name for a
the
dog,
first
bro.
of
I
his
like
name
that.
of the former. He has definitely won't be you, probably. The trait free, if Jeff the Land Shark is adjacent to a friendly character that shares a keyword with him, generate a pizza object. And then there is a special damage power, his whole dial, that is Shark in the Pool. Shape change, Force Blast is free, but only if Jeff the Land Shark occupies water terrain. When Jeff the Land Shark uses it, he can knock back larger characters. He is tiny size, he is dolphin, so putting him in water is great. fact that he can knock back Galactus is hilarious. His whole dial is sidestep, blades, toughness, and that special damage power. And then that pizza object that he generates, I assume it's the same as...
I would assume so. Yeah, the same thing like Lucky and everybody else made in next phase.
It has effect. A character holding this object has free, destroy this object, heal 1 click. So that is the pizza object. Yeah. Character holding it can free, destroy it, and heal a click. It's, for 25 points, it's very interesting. I love the fact that he has a tiny sized character, so he's already like a 18 for ranged attacks. He's already got dolphin symbol, so he's hard to do range attacks against. But then also you could just drop him down next to Galactus, Force Blast is free if he's in water, and knock back Galactus.
That's wild. That's the crazy thing of just any size knockback. It's just insane.
How do you even choose? Well, it says larger characters. I guess it doesn't say multi-based, so...
Oh, okay, then no,
so
he cannot knock back multi-based characters.
He could do Exodia, I guess, instead of
He
Galactus.
could. He could knock over Exodia.
Yeah, just knock Exodia back into the wall, unless he has his chain tokens. We're not gonna... we don't need to get into like the extremities of this power, but it is funny that larger characters can get knocked back by a tiny little shark.
Next up, we have Sunspot. He is 80 points or 45 points. He has AIM, Avengers, New Mutants, X-Force, X-Men, Celebrity, and Scientist. Giving all of old Sunspot's credits here. AIM and Avengers probably because of like the whole US Avengers when he buys out AIM and all that fun stuff. But he's super simple. He's got one trait, which means that's right. He gets +1 attack when played with Iceman. The trait is called Charging Up, and it gives him ESD and Toughness. So simple enough. He's got +2 defense from range, reduces damage by 1. What's he getting for 80 points? Well, he's 6 clicks of life. He's got 5 range 1 target, and he can fly. He is a running shot, pulse wave, super senses, outwit piece for his first 3 clicks of life, and those are the 3 clicks you get when you pay 80 points for this guy. He is an 11 for 4 with an outwit running shot, even if you don't pulse wave. That's hitting pretty hard. That's pretty good. I think it's like the highest printed damage we've seen, top dial at least. I know Wolverine got it a little later on, so that's pretty cool. He's also the first running shot pulse wave piece we've seen, so that alone in sealed might make him be worth 80. But let's say you don't have the points for that. You want to pay, let's say slightly about 35 points less. Well, he's got a 45-point line, which is charge, poison, willpower, leadership. So a very, very squishy 45 points. Yes, he does have ESD and toughness, but then he's got charge. So he's charging up in there to be really close. So it's a little worrisome for me to play him at 45, but if you have no other leadership options, then I think, this is a pretty legit 45 points then at that point in time. So that's Sunspot. I think he's got some seal play, but as a constructed piece, I just think he's a little bloated in the point value area to really be like a constructed piece so much.
Yeah. It's depends on like what you pull, because like in sealed, outwit big. In sealed, pulse wave big.
Yes.
But if you pull like really other good stuff, and you just need leadership, or you just need like a tertiary flyer, attacker, whatever, that bottom dial's not bad. So in sealed, it's very interesting. Next up, wow, how did they do it again? Once again, it's a multiple man that you need multiples of.
Whoa!
I don't know how this keeps happening. So obviously Jamie Madrox, Hydra, X-Core, X-Factor, X-Men, Detective, Police, and Spy keywords. He has Team Blair team ability. He has a trait that is Do the Math free. If multiple man began your turn on the map, roll a d6 on a 4 through 6, generate a 0-1-3 multiple man from your KO area. So he does not have. You actually have to start with multiple of these men. He doesn't have a way to generate himself like previous versions, but I mean that doesn't mean that you can't use like the other versions that say multiple man, Jamie Madrox. I think there's one, the one from Wolverine and the X-Men, like the LE from Wolverine and the X-Men names like 5 different names or something for what you can bring in. But he's only 10 points. He has Sidestep his whole 3 clicks. He has Mastermind his top dial, and he has Empower his all 3 clicks. So he's just a very simple. He's a 10 for 2 top dial. If you like really technically, Iceman pumps him up to an 11 for 2.
Let's go.
Yeah, once again, just getting crazy out here. But no, 10 points for an Empower in Sealed, 10 points for Empower in Pulp. Very interesting. Play multiples, have sidestepping. Maybe they even use Team Player to copy Underworld or something so they can carry each other around. We essentially have, what was it, the Moloid dudes back.
Oh, yeah.
Just some sidestep, Empower shenanigans. And then if they die, you have a 50-50 chance of bringing them back. So, pretty cool. I like it. It's not my favorite version, but it is a generic I'm willing to get, I don't know, like 10 of, so that I can have 100 points of Jammy Madrox doing his little...
I do like the chance at them. Yeah, the Clap is an interesting choice of sculpt.
It is. Also, his face just seems...
It seems very cold, seems very mean. Yeah, his pupils don't look very like they're there. He's giving me a dead stare in this sculpt. I do like Jamie Madrox here. I will say he is missing the soldier keyword, which the pile of multiple man, he got that keyword. And as a soldier keyword fanatic, it is a bummer not getting the 10-point sidestep and power piece, because this is just a great 10-point sidestep and power. So you want to add a little buff to your detective, police, spy, Hydra teams, bada bing, bada boom. Hydra could use a little 10-point in power. That rocks. So I like him a lot. Like, really, he's really good. Really solid. Next up, speaking of Hydra, we have the Hydra agent. He is Hydra, soldier, and spy. He has the Hydra team ability, and he has Masters of Evil, which is pretty cool. So adjacent friendly characters, when they target an opposing character, whether it's range or close, they're getting the -1 defense on that opposing character. So that's pretty neat. He is 3 clicks of life, 3 clicks of charge, 3 clicks of combat reflexes, and 3 range. Ooh, ah. He has 1 click of Blade's Claw's Fangs on top dial, and then he has no damage power top dial. But then on his last 2 clicks, he does get some Empower, which is kind of interesting. So if for some reason you don't just absolutely one-shot Hydra agent, then he's got a little bit of use if he only takes 1 or 2 damage, which is pretty cool. Maybe from a poison or a pulse wave or something. He has 1 trait, and it's cut off 1 head. For all characters with this trait, when Hydra agent or another friendly character with the Hydra keyword, so that's just another friendly character Hydra keyword, is KO'd, after resolutions roll d6. On a 4 through 6, generate up to 2 characters named Hydra agent of 15 points or less on their starting click, adjacent to a friendly character with the Hydra keyword. So yeah, cut off 1 head, ... 2 more shall take its place. So whenever anyone with a Hydra keyword dies, you can replace him with a whole Hydra agent. Either this Hydra agent or like the 10 other characters we have that are called Hydra agent, which is kind of cool that it's not specifically this dude, but it's like any of them that you want. That's really fun. Hydra always kind of has some fun little generic abilities. Although I will agree with some of the discourse online saying they were wishing that this guy was a goon. It is a bit of a bummer that he isn't a goon and that he didn't have like a 15-point goon line and then a 50-point like whatever. But he's still a solid little generic. Although I will say, yeah, I do wish he was a goon.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just because of how it fits, just because like the way the dial makes sense.
Yeah. And that could have easily, the cut off 1 head trait definitely feels like it could have just been the goon trait, where if you roll this, you make 2 instead of making 1, right?
Instead of calling it goon, it still could have worked.
Yeah.
With like
I don't know.
Yeah. For itself. Yeah. Next up.
It is and it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the sculpt though. It's fun.
Yes. It's kind of funny because he shares it with Bob, so he's just kind of shrugging like, but then he has a knife. It's kind of funny.
Next up is Deadpool Robot, which has shield keyword, Weapon X, future, and robot keywords. No team abilities, though. Out of all of those, no.
Dang, no shield.
Specifically a fairly team ability heavy kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is an interesting dial. It's very back and forth. So 75 points, no special attack powers, or no special powers, no traits. His dial goes charge, blades, toughness, Ranged Combat Expert to an all-black dial on click 2, which is Stealth, Steel Energy, Regeneration, Outwit. Back to the Charge Blades, Toughness, Ranged Combat Expert. Back to the all-black dial. And then on click 5, it goes to Running Shot, Precision Strike, Combat Reflexes, Close Combat Expert, which is almost like the mirror version of the Charge Blades.
Yeah.
Ranged Combat Expert. And then it goes back to the all-black dial, back to the Running Shot, back to the all-black dial. Combat values are interesting. So again, keep in mind, Iceman gives this guy +1 attack the whole time. But he's a 12 for 2 top dial, which would potentially be, if he's using Ranged Combat Expert, a 13 for 3. And then he's a 12 for 3 with Ranged Combat Expert on click 3. Very slow on the stealth clicks. The all-black clicks, he's 4 speed, 10 attack, 16 defense, 3 damage on all 4 of those iterations. And then on click 5, he repeats click 1, where he is a 12 attack for 2 damage, but instead of the Ranged Combat Expert being on the Running Shot click, it is Close Combat Expert. So if he punches with no improved targeting, then he is a 13 for 3. And then obviously, like, a Bobby would give him a +1 attack his whole dial, which is interesting. I think if that's the combo that you pull, it's not a bad piece to play, because having like a 14 for 3 with 4 range isn't the worst thing in sealed, because it's not like your big guy. It's just a guy that's, you know, hard to take down. I do kind of hate his alternating dial, because if you get knocked to like the stealth, steel energy, outwit, regen click on a turn where you're double tokened, then you're just going to sit there and you're going to be very easy to like pick off. At least he has outwit on those clicks, but not doing a lot of healing if your opponent manages to do that when you're double tokened.
He's a really interesting piece. He's kind of cool. I like that the stats are like always the same on the black clicks. They're the same on the first powered set of clicks, and then they go like down. Yes, kind of down by 1 in some places. I don't know. It's kind of unique. I mean, he's not worth 75 points, but I could see you needing to play him in sealed. His stats do get a little ridiculous in the attack value range at the very least, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he's just kind of weird. It's kind of a weird piece. I don't know. Deadpool's kind of weird. I do like the way the sculpt looks a lot. The sharp edges and shininess of the Deadpool robot is really cool, but not totally in love with the piece.
Yeah, I do like the chromatic kind of nature.
Yeah. Next up, warning. This figure is broken. This figure is insane. Oh my gosh. It's 016 Timebreaker to finish off the commons. Exile's Cosmic Future Past. If you want a more in-depth look at Timebreaker, I made a video. It's on YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. It's called Timebreaker is Broken or something like that. It's because he is. They are. These bugs are insane. Bugs are everywhere. They are crawling. They're in my house. They're under my skin. Why are there so many bugs? Sorry. Anyways, so Timebreaker's got 2 traits. One is calling more work. So they're 5 points. Really quick. They're 5 points. They have sidestep. They have toughness. That's it. They got 5 speed, they got 16 defense, got 0 damage, they got 0 attack. They're tiny, they're autonomous, they got 0 freaking range. So everything this character does not count toward your action total. And they are only 5 points. And guess what? They're not unique. You can play as many of these little buggery boos as you want, and you can take as many actions with them as you want, and they do not count toward your action total. That is insane. Calling more workers, free. If another friendly character has not activated this same effect this turn, generate a 016 Timebreaker on click number 1. So they just automatically make another one of themselves. So really, this 5-point investment, instant rebate, boom, here's another one for free, for nothing. Also, this is a free action, which means you can carry this bug all the way across the map with a bunch of other little bugs, or they can move across the map. They can get there somehow, some way, right? That's kind of what they do. They move. They're good at moving. And then you can free make one who can then, after you've carried all these little guys across the map, they have free action, boom, make one. That one that you just made can then power action. So think about placing all these little bugs. Well, actually, sorry, we haven't gotten there yet. We have to read the second trait. Panopticron excursion platform. That's how I'm going to choose to pronounce it. Power, which again does not count toward your action total. Choose an adjacent character. Not friendly, not opposing, no specificity anywhere. Just choose an adjacent character. Place that character up to X squares away from their current square. Place, not move, place. No breakaway. Ignoring all terrain for anything and everything. 'Cause it's not a move action, it's a place, okay? From their current square, where X is equal to the number of 016 time breakers and B005 time breakers that are adjacent to that character. So yes, there's also a bystander time breaker. That one is 25 points. Not going to cover that one here. It is also good for different reasons. Not going to talk about it. So now think about this. Not only are there insane ways to roll out, I've already, again, in that video, I'll show you a million different ways on how to move your own characters with these guys. It's great because you can move multi-base figures, all sorts of crazy stuff, where it's like, these guys are better than a TK. If you thought Venom Magneto, like TK once, then TK as free was good. Think about this is all a free action. Even if it's a power action, it's a free action because the action does not count toward your action total, ladies and gentlemen. And you can play a ton of these little 5-point idiots to just make everybody move. So now let's go back to my crazy theory. You move them all the way across the map. Then you have someone free call in somebody else. It can be given an action after being carried or whatever because it was just generated all of a sudden. Now you go ahead, power action, move an opponent's piece. Not even move, place an opponent's piece, maybe all the way back to your starting area or something crazy. There's all sorts of nuts stuff you can do. You can give these guys 12 attacks. If you want to, you can give them 12s with Iron Spider or 11s or whatever. You can give them Sinister Syndicate with Iron Spider. Boom, now they have an attack value. You can get somebody somewhere hands out Blades, Claws, Fangs, or if you're a crazy person, you could equip them with Blades, Claws, Fangs. And now, boom, you have an autonomous 11 for 5 Blades piece. Well, not 11 for 5, but 11 for D6 Blades piece at the very least, or any crazy combat value you want to give them. So there's all sorts of nut stuff you can do with Time Breaker. I'm going to quit talking about it. In Sealed, it's not great. It's just a power action, move one square. Like, it's not good in Sealed at all.
Unless you somehow
like
pull 2, but even then...
You pull 2, you're kind of cooking. If you pull 2, you're kind of cooking, because now that's a power, move 2, and then sidestep them up, power, move them another 2. So now they're like a free TK in Sealed.
Autonomous power, again.
Autonomous,
just
yeah.
To reiterate.
So, in case you guys weren't getting that. But yeah, so in Sealed, they're like whatever. In Pulp, Pulp is Highlander, right? So in Pulp, they're just also straight up like not really good unless you just want to break theme, or if you're running Cosmic Future Past, then it's like, sure, here's 5 points, move one square, I guess. But their bread and butter is in just constructed. And I think they're probably the most broken figure that I've seen in the game in what feels like months, days, years, a while. At the very least.
Or like,
oh my gosh, dude. If they had better keywords,
really
they'd be
good.
Pretty nuts.
Past,
but again,
futures,
the bystander can also just go on a team and not break theme, but then you can't really play that many. The bystander has free make 2 at the beginning of the game, and then they can free make 1. So in theory, you could get 4 first turn if you play the bystander, but that's 25 points, which really ends up being like 10 points after all the time breakers you make instantly turn 1. But starting these guys on a team can be really strong. I think there's a sweet spot. They're just nuts. Every single figure in the game, ladies and gentlemen, every single figure in the game with these guys has become an Alpha Strike piece.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely. If you want it to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Quite simply.
That's it. I'm going to be done talking about Time Breaker. They're insane. They are the most broken figure in this set. Yeah, they are so stupidly good.
Thank goodness for a Sealed.
Yes.
Rest in peace, 300 Modern. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Everybody can just Angler, Agatha, whatever combo.
They're just moving. Everybody's moving.
Next up, we have Wolverine.
Whoa.
I know you didn't expect him in the set, but here he is, 017, classic X-Men uniform, but no cowl on, no mask, just full flooded hair poofing out. He has Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, and Brute keywords. So, what is it? Dark Phoenix. Not Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
Is it Dark? Yeah.
Yeah, it is Dark Phoenix.
The-
Yeah.
that works with brutes. Yeah, keep an eye out for him. No, he's
That's
a very simple
wild.
figure. He has a full dial of charge, 8 speed, full dial of blades, 11 attack, half dial of 18 defense with toughness and 2 damage with empower. And then his bottom half is combat reflexes with 2 damage, battle fury, 17 with combat reflexes. So, yeah, up top, he's just, he's an 18. He's bringing in Empower. He's 60 points. Very simple, very normal Wolverine kind of dial. Traded regeneration as free, but only if he used the X-Men team ability this turn, which is interesting and also very good because being able to power action heal somebody and then potentially not take damage and then potentially heal whatever damage you did take. Once again, Iceman makes this guy a 12 his entire dial, so I honestly, there's a lot of figures that Iceman just boosts, and yeah, this is one of them. He's the last common that we have, and I'm not stoked for him. I don't think I'm reaching for him most of the time, but in sealed, having a 6-click long dial with an empower, blades, because you're already going to put him close to your opponent, so that's great, and then having an empower, that means if you send that common Deadpool, that 002 Deadpool, you maybe don't even have to roll blades. You just deal 3 damage, exploit. And, So yeah, it just depends on what you pull. I like him. I think he's fun. On X-Men teams, obviously, he's a decent piece to play because you already want to be able to heal other friendly X-Men, and then he has regen as free, but only if he used that, so it's a good reason to use it.
I like him being a battery for X-Men teams like that, being able to just keep himself up. He keeps using the X-Men team ability. It's pretty neat little Wolverine. Speaking of a little Wolverine, we have Wolvie, our first uncommon. He has Exiles, Mojoverse, Weapon X, and X-Men. Wolvie here is this chibi tiny little baby Wolverine. He's 30 points. He has 3 clicks of life. He is tiny size. 6-speed charge, 11 attack blades, goes on to a 10 for the last few clicks. 15 defense, the entire dial of all 3 clicks of toughness, and 1 damage, the entire dial, all 3 clicks of battle fury. So he's a charged blades piece with battle fury and toughness. Pretty simple. Who cares if he's got a 1 damage? He's rolling blades. Shoot high, I guess, little Wolvie. He's got a trait called Did You Miss Me? Did ya? When Wolvie is KO'd, roll d6. On a 4 through 6, instead of removing him from the map, you may place him adjacent to another friendly character and turn him to click 1. He is still scored, though, and then this trait has protected Pulse Wave. I don't really like him that much for 30 points. I wish he had been 20 or something kind of crazy cheap, I guess, because it kind of feels, I don't know, it feels all right. The fact that, he might just always stay alive, but the fact that they just keep scoring him over and over, I don't love that. Not a big fan of just my opponent becoming a Wolvie farmer and just being ripe for the harvest. I will take another 30 points. Thank you very much. I mean, the dude's a 15 defense. So I do wish he didn't get scored each time, or was 15 points. I don't know. Yeah, just something cheaper. But he's cute. He's fun. But I just kind of wish he was either less points or they just didn't score him when he's KO'd. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's a really fun piece. I think it's going to be absolutely fun in casual settings, but yeah, it is when points matter. It is it's a
little scary.
All right, now we got pirate little 1970 or not 1700s little
call him a pirate,
little Wolverine boy, his little nightshirt. We've got James Howlett from Origins, I assume. So
X-Men Origins Wolverine, the best Wolverine movie ever made.
He's got Exiles and past keywords. He has Wolverine Squad trait. When this character rolls a 5 or 6 on any single d6 roll after resolutions, heal a friendly character with the Wolverine Squad trait, 1 click. He has a special damage power his first 3 clicks that is shape change, perplex, and it's called not a dress, it's a nightshirt. Which, yeah, that's the nightshirt he was wearing when he first popped his claws and killed his stepdad? Real dad?
Killed in the movie, he kills like Sabretooth's dad, right?
Yeah, which may or may not be his dad.
I've actually been his dad. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, Shape Change, Perplex, solid. His first 3 clicks are Stealth with 5 speed, 11 attack his whole dial with blades, 17 defense his first 3 clicks with combat reflexes. So again, with Perplex and Shape Change, pretty stout defensively. I think most people will just kind of ignore him because he has to base them and then actually attack. But
yeah,
being able to have a 12 blades attack, maybe they have to make notice of him. And then his last 3 clicks, he moves on to Charge, Battle Fury. He loses combat reflexes and goes on to Toughness for clicks 4 and 5 and gets regen. But yeah, I don't think you can ever ignore a potential 12 with blades. Like, that's...
I'd say this is a slightly better tie-up piece than what's-her-face Copycat that we saw earlier. So for like the same point value, he has potentially dealing a little bit more damage, and he also just same thing. He has Shape Change, Stealth, Combat Reflexes, so that's kind of cool. But then he falls into the weird thing like with Deadpool, where it's like, okay, he does have regen on his last click, but the only reason I guess I want to heal him is so he doesn't die. But then I put him on like kind of worse clicks. If I'm already adjacent to somebody, then they are better clicks technically. If I'm rolling blades anyways, so I don't totally hate his regen, but it also does just feel weird when he's in like his quote-unquote better clicks. He could heal up to quote-unquote worse clicks, but depending on the situation, that actually could be helpful. If he's adjacent to somebody, you want to heal up to the combat reflexes, Shape Change. Also, it's kind of cool that his Shape Change does proc the Wolverine Squad trait, so his regen, his blades, and his Shape Change all work for Wolverine Squad to let other friendly characters with that trait heal 1 click. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, he's just kind of a little dude.
Yeah.
Next up,
little nightshirt boy.
Little nightshirt boys. It's not a dress. They're not dolls. They're action figures. It's kind of the vibe that's given off. Morph here is, I love this costume. Love big, silly cape, goofy gloves. Morph, he rocks. He's got Avengers, Exiles, New Mutants, X-Men, and Celebrity. Kevin Sidney here. He's got Team Player as well. So not just X-Men or Avengers or anything like that. He's got Team Player. So he can copy whatever he needs. He's 75 points or he's 40 points. And he's got 1 trait called Keep the Team Laughing. So again, Iceman, +1 attack this guy. Toughness, Shape Change, but he succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Morph uses it and succeeds, he may choose a team ability an opposing character can use, and he can use that until the end of your next turn. And then that has Protected Outwit. So his Shape Change then has Protected Outwit based on how this trait works. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, he's a little 4 through 6 Shape Change. I do like him in Sealed. He does have 2 targets. So at 75 points, he's a Charge, Super Strength, Super Senses, probability control piece. So I like either line in Sealed. So if you're really hurting for a main attacker, boom, here's a Charge, Super Strength, come in, pick something up, bash your opponent with Toughness, Shape Change, Super Senses. It's really solid, double rollouts. Or you also just need a solid attacker, but want to spend less points and he'll die sooner potentially. Then have him at his 40-point line where he's got 4 clicks of life. And instead, he's just a little bit of a slower close attacker, wishing he had range. He's got Sidestep, Precision Strike, but then he still has the Super Senses probability control. So Morph's pretty cool. I do like him. I think he's got some neat places in Sealed, and I think he's just like a fun enough piece that probably at the 40-point line, you'll probably find yourself tossing him on any of the keyworded teams you've noticed, because a little 40-point prob sidestep with Shape Change, Super Senses, it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Copying a team ability is a lot. Like, obviously, what's-her-face? She gets to copy... Copycat gets to copy a power until she chooses again. So Morph's a little nerfed in regards to that, where he just copies a team ability, and then it's until your next turn. But maybe that team ability is like Spider-Man or something. That's pretty solid. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love the sculpt. I love the costume. Yeah. It's a very interesting dial. I think, obviously, yeah, prob, good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep the team laughing. Next up, we got another hot shot. Yeehaw. So, yeah, this is Outlaw. This is the third. Because we have Black Widow, Diamondback, and then we have Outlaw. So, once again, try to keep in mind the previous ones. Black Widow is you can get a free square of smoke cloud underneath you if you have a hotshot token. Diamondback is friendly characters can remove one, and it improved targeting through blocking. Or destroys blocking, I believe. And then Outlaw gives... When Outlaw hits, she gets a hotshot token. Friendly characters with a hotshot token have free. Remove a hotshots token from this character. If you do this turn, they have knockback, and characters they knock back can't reduce knockback damage. Which, honestly, yeah, if that comboed with like Sunspot, or not Sunspot, jeez, if that comboed with Cannonball, it'd be kind of crazy. It doesn't, but you know, still, it does combo with some things, and it does just give people capital knockback. So they already get knockback, and then, yeah, characters they can't knock back can't reduce knockback damage. Or characters they knock back can't reduce knockback damage. She also has the Quick Draw trait, which we have seen before. If when Outlaw hits with a ranged attack, if it was during your first action this turn after resolutions, you remove an action from her. So she has Running Shot. If it's the first character that you give an action to, you give an action, and then if you hit, you get rewarded by removing that action token. Pretty solid. She has improved movement through blocking, destroys it, improved targeting out of adjacency, which is great for her down dial. So she has super strength her whole dial. She has 5 range, 1 lightning bolt. Running Shot her first 2 clicks, with invulnerability her first 4 clicks, and empower her first 4 clicks. But on clicks 3 through 6, she gets charge. That combo's even better with super strength. So you can Running Shot, move up, get adjacent, still blast them, and then once she gets knocked down, you have the fact that you're already knocking people back, the fact that you get charged, the fact that you can shoot out of adjacency. So even if like you aren't adjacent, yeah, I actually like this power combo. I think it works pretty well. She doesn't really benefit from Black Widow's effect, but
Not a whole lot, no. But
yeah,
Diamondbacks is helping her out as another
being able to
range
shoot
piece.
through like blocking, so she can chart, or she can Running Shot through blocking, like move through it, and then also shoot through another square of it. So not for nothing, she can actually like get through barrier. She could end up adjacent to somebody and shoot them. So yeah, depending on how your opponent like barriers up or how there's blocking placed, she'd actually get rid of quite a bit. She's 65 points with the Deadpool core, Assassin, Brute, and Marksman keywords. I don't know a lot about this character, but I like it. Other than the sculpt where she's pointing, she's very blasty for somebody that's just pointing.
Yeah, I think very clearly probably should be holding a 6-shooter or something, a little cowboy-y like pistol, but she's just kind of giving you the, hey, bad, stop that. Don't do that. Scolding point. No, I don't know anything about Outlaw either, which is crazy because I've had 10 years to read any book with her in it ever since she appeared in the first Deadpool set, and I was like, huh, funny cowgirl lady, cool. And then have forgotten about her again until she shows up here. I guess that's a lie. I did read the Agent Zero book where she kind of appears in, where it does talk about how she's a mutant with super strength, but then she's also just a mercenary, so she shoots people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Outlaw, but she's cool. She's neat, and she always has these kind of interesting run and gun and yet crazy punchy dials. So, you know, she's not made a lot, but when she is made, she's got pretty unique abilities, which is fun. So I like Outlaw. I like that she's a little bit cheaper than her last version, so that's nice. Next up, we have old White Fox here. She has Mystics. I think it's like the first Mystics character in the entire set so far. She is Agents of Atlas, Assassin, Mystical, and Spy. She's 45 points. She is also a hot shot. Before we get into that, she has a full dial of her special speed power, which gives her charge plasticity. That is 9-tailed fox. And then her entire dial is a full dial of super senses, full dial of shape change, full dial of Blades Claw's Fang. She's also starting hot with a 12 attack, which is pretty solid. Double rollouts, blades. She only has 2 damage, whatever. She's rolling blades, hoping for some big rolls. She does have 2 range, pretty low, but it's there. It's there. Her hotshots trait is the last Kumio. Kumio? Is that? Yeah, sure. When White Fox hits after resolutions, give her a Hot Shots token. Friendly characters with Hot Shots trait have free remove a Hot Shots token from this character. If you do, until your next turn when an opposing character attacks this character and misses after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage. So that's pretty cool. So if you hit her, boom, 1 penetrating from Mystics. If she hits Super Senses, or if she you just straight up miss her 18 defense, boom, take a damage if you remove her Hot Shots token. So that's pretty cool. I really like her as a close combat tie-up piece. You can charge to get up in there. She's got double rollouts. She's annoying to try to hit. Even when you do hit her, you get punished for hitting her. A great little 45-point tie-up piece, and I really like her.
Yeah, I think double rollout, yeah, I mean, just it was designed to be annoying. Plasticity, double rollout, I think that's got to be what they were going for, because there's no other reason to combo those 3 things together. It's just, yeah. If there's a way to give her impervious, maybe. Reduces pen impervious. Yeah. And again, I can't remember, what is it that Domino gives them a Hot Shots token if she succeeds on leadership. She can give out 1 to somebody with that trait. And then this is the super rare. We're not going to get into it a lot, but yeah, she gives out somebody that has a Hot Shots trait gets a token. And then she also gives out, when they would roll a single d6, they can remove a Hot Shots token to use Domino's die, which Domino's die is a 1, a 2, a 5, and then 3 6s. So for characters like this, if she's rolling Shape Change or Super Senses, and if she removes a token to roll Domino's die, she's got a more than a 66% chance of succeeding, because 5 or 6, unless they have Precision Strike or Battle Fury, I guess. So yeah, something to keep in mind. But again, Domino doesn't come with that pack, I don't think. No, it doesn't. It's Atlas Bear is the rare in that pack, so not something to worry about for sealed usually, but in constructed, interesting. Next up, 023, it's Mystique. She has the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability, Brotherhood of Mutants keyword, Assassin, Martial Artist, and Spy keywords. She has a trait that is, sorry is such an inadequate word, Stealth. Opposing characters within range can't use X-Men team ability. Oh no. I mean, it is kind of annoying for some characters in the set, but at the same time, it's in constructed, it's okay, what is... I mean, I don't care. Your range is 3, Mystique. What are you doing? It's
also
annoying.
It's the X-Men team ability. I barely use it when I build an X-Men team.
I hardly choose to use this when it's an option, and then you take that away from me, and I'll be like, oh. And,
no, this is so sad.
Yeah.
Dude,
Exactly.
not the X-Men team ability. Oh no.
Yeah. And so, but I mean, it is an interesting trait for sealed. Plus, it's just stealth. So
it is.
She has a special attack power on clicks 1, 2, and 5 out of her 5 clicks. So first, second, and last click. And that's 2 you owe me. Free. Choose a character within range and line of fire, then choose a standard attack or damage power they can use. Mystique can use the chosen power until your next turn. If the chosen character is an opposing character with the X-Men keyword, she may choose a second standard attack or damage power they can use until your next turn, which makes her a very viable threat in sealed, because there's going to be plenty of X-Men keyword characters. There's going to be plenty of good attack and damage powers. So I definitely think that, for 30 points, she ignores characters. For movement, 3 range, 1 lightning bolt, sidestep with that special attack power. She's combat reflexes, shape change for first 2 clicks, and then goes to flurry, blades, super senses, and
it's an annoying little dial for 30 points though, 100%. And as far as all of the kind of tie down pieces, she's a pretty good one, being able to just jump from the other person you want to lock down or back into stealth. She's pretty annoying little piece, this Mystique. Next up, we got Boom Boom. Boom Boom here is 45 points, another little new mutant person here. She's improved targeting, hindering terrain. She's 4 range, 2 targets, 6 clicks of life, blowing a little bubble Got a lot of hot pink in the costume here. Boom Boom. She's New Mutants, Next Wave, X Factor, X Force, and X Men. Her first 3 clicks of life, she has Force Blast for her speed. She has Toughness. She has 2 clicks of enhancement, and then she has a special attack power for her first 3 clicks, which is Energy Explosion. Well, I just needed to blow something up. Energy Explosion, when Boom Boom uses it after resolutions, destroy any non-debris terrain marker in or adjacent to an original target's square. Kind of neat, kind of unique there. So kind of getting rid of any like terrain markers that are out there. That's kind of cool. But nothing too crazy. And then later down the dial, she rolls on to being just a normal kind of like running shot energy explosion ESD piece. I think there might be some uses for her. You might want to try to mess around with her fun little energy explosion. You do have to energy explode to use this, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like just single targeting somebody as an 11 for 3 might be better in some cases, and you want to try to get this effect off, but that's still okay. She does a little unique little effect. It's pretty cool, but again, unless you want to try to build with that in mind, I don't really know when you're reaching for Boom Boom here all that often. And concealed though, 45-point enhancements, that's pretty solid. And then yeah, very tertiary, but no move and attack is tough to try to get her effect off. So I don't know. If you want to build with it, you can, but I'm not really reaching for Boom Boom here.
Next up, 025, it's Strife. Big old Nathan Summers, real name, the evil clone of Nathan Summers. It's Cable's brother / just clone. But Mutant Liberation Front, which I think during our unboxing we made fun of how popular that keyword is. There's a total of, let's see, including this figure, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out of those 6, 3 of them are Strife. So that's
incredible.
How popular Mutant Liberation Front is. He has the armor and future and ruler keywords. He has the Mutant Liberation Front trait, which that trait is leadership mastermind, unique modifier, friendly bystanders modify attack +1 and can use plasticity, which is very good. Just any bystander doesn't have to share a keyword, doesn't have to be like adjacent, nothing. Just friendly bystanders get +1 attack and can use plasticity. I think this guy's something to keep an eye out in Silver just because of that. There's a lot of interesting bystander kind of stuff that goes on in Silver, or can go on in Silver, so definitely something to keep in mind going forward. And then no matter what point value you start him at, he has a special damage power. So on click 1 or on click 5, which is his second starting line, or on click 8, which is his last click, he has Who Needs a Crystal Ball to Predict the Obvious? Shape Change Outwit. Friendly characters with no action tokens have Safeguard opposing probability control. So, pretty cool. You can like charge in, running shot in, something, whatever. Make an attack. During that attack, you have Safeguard opposing probability control. Afterwards, you'll get an action token, and then you won't have that Safeguard for like the next turn. But it is a very cool effect. It makes his leadership matter a little bit more. And I think this is our first like really power CUR piece where in sealed for 125 points, you have 8 speed running shot, 11 attack with an 18 defense invincible. His 11 attack is attached to Psychic Blast, and then he has 4 damage printed, that Shape Change Outwit power. So even if they have a big reducer, you can potentially outwit it. He has 5 range, 1 lightning bolt. He flies. Pretty solid. On click 2, he loses that special damage power and goes to range combat expert, so he's still an 11 for 4. And then he goes to mind control instead of running shot for clicks 3 and 4, which not the worst, but like kind of rough for 100.
But like, why?
Points. Yeah.
Like, why would I ever do that when I can just shoot you for 4 penetrating damage?
Yeah, because he's still technically an 11 for 4 on clicks 3 and 4, so like I'm almost never single target mind controlling on those clicks. Very rarely. And then if you start him at 50 points, he starts on click 5, and that is a completely different dial, full dial of stealth. So 4 clicks of stealth, 2 clicks of telekinesis, 2 clicks of toughness. He has, of course, that special damage power for his starting click at click 5, which you can shape change outwit. And then the friendly characters No actions get a safeguard opposing probability control. So a little TK shape change outwit protection kind of thing. On click 6, he's a 10 for 3 with range combat expert. So once again, goes back to that 11 for 4. And then on click 7 and 8, he gets back his psychic blast. So on click 7, he's still a threat. He has regen for his last 2 clicks. Yeah. I think if you pull this guy, unless you just need the traded leadership, or if you have something that makes bystanders, you probably play him at 125. Otherwise, if you're playing him at 50, then it's because he's a flyer with leadership and he's boosting bystanders.
A little TK piece. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. If you're hurting for a main attacker, I would almost always spring for the 125. Like, if you don't get a good rare, super rare chase or whatever in sealed, like this guy's pretty solid little piece for an attacker. But if you do get good main attackers, then heck yeah, a little outwit TK piece, sure. Outwit leadership, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Next up, feels like I'm talking about all these teenaged mutants. I'm just, the evens have just all been teenage mutants, it feels like. Next up is Jubilee, old Jubilation Lee here. Has Generation X and X-Men. She has the X-Men team ability. She's 50 points or she's 25 points. She's got no traits and she has no special powers. So Iceman, give her that +1. Give my girl her +1. She deserves it. She earned it. 5 range. So she's got a very similar split line to old Robert DaCosta, as we talked about earlier. How cute. So first 4 clicks, running shot, energy explosion, toughness, and enhancement. All those powers, all 4 clicks. Last 3 clicks, sidestep, pulse wave, barrier, perplex for all 3 of those clicks. Personally, unless you need a tertiary attacker, or maybe you pull strife or some heavy range attackers and you want the enhancement, I would almost always play her at the 25-point line in sealed. A sidestep, barrier, perplex piece is gnarly. Maybe someone has finally closed the gap and boom, she gets to pulse wave them. That's sick. I really, really like this Jubilee. Toughness seems odd to give to Jubilee. I don't know. Like, really sure, I guess. But she's never been a reducer.
Rating, yeah.
Yeah. Like I guess that's really about it. So she's never given me big, I have a reducer type of stuff, but yeah, this is one Jubilee who, I mean, she's going to attack you with the full force the 4th of July once it gets right down to it. So I really do like this Jubilee. She's simple. She's cool. Yeah, running shot enhancement or just a great team player down dial, which I really like, especially in Seal. Little sidestep perplex barriers. Gnarly. So I like this Jubilee. I think she's solid. I think you can build with her. I think you play sealed with her. And I think she'll probably find her way into pulp more often than not, due to just her 25-point line.
25 points, sidestep, perplex, pulse wave, barrier. Definitely, like, because most pulp is Highlander, so yeah, I think she'll be one of those 25-point options for sure. Next up, we have Laura Kinney, X23, wearing, gosh, I can't remember that name of.
It's like a Sabretooth costume, it looks like.
Yeah,
or is it like Bacon?
No, it was like a star. Gosh, Fang, I think was his name.
Okay, sure. Him.
He was like a star jammer. Yeah, so Fang, or Imperial Guard, that's what it was. Originally, he just was like kind of like a throwaway Sabretooth type character, but then there was like in the Wolverines comic issue, he became like this like interdimensional exploration, whatever. Doesn't really matter. That's his costume. Wolverine wore it at one point.
Okay.
He beat him for some reason. I don't know. And apparently Laura Kinney also wears it for some reason. It's a fun costume. It's just like yellow, brown, and teeths. But yeah, she's got Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, Martial Artist keywords. She has the trait Family Bonding. Laura, when X23 KOs an opposing character of 30 points or less, after resolutions, a friendly character with a Family Bonding trait may make an attack. So, fun little way to combo stuff. And then she has a special defense power for her last, let's see, what is that? 4 clicks? 5 clicks. Last 5 clicks, she has Faster Than Logan, which is super senses, // at the beginning of your turn, you may heal X23 one click. So defensive, also healing, pretty solid. She has a 75-point line and a 50-point line. 75 points starts at click 1, and then 50 for click 3. And the difference between those is at 75 points, she has a 12 attack for 3 damage, and at 50 points, she has a 10 attack for 3 damage. So she is an 8 speed for clicks 1, 2, and 3 with charge, blades from clicks 1 through 6, so blades almost the whole dial, toughness from clicks 1 through 3, and then of course that special defense power the rest of her dial, exploit from clicks 1 through 3, and then she gets probability control from clicks 4 through 6, this is why I miss having flavor text for standard powers, because I'd love to. I mean, it makes sense for her to have prob. You can make a lot of like reasonings. You know, you could do like toe claw, like she like swung and missed.
Yeah,
like,
gonna stab you one more time.
Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons why that would make sense, because she has flurry plus prob, so it's like 2 attacks because she's got 2 claws and then also the 3rd claw in her foot. Or maybe like it's, you know, something to do with costume. I don't know. But yeah, we don't have any special flavor text anymore. Or we have special flavor text. It's the standard flavor text we're missing. Last clicks, she has click 7 and 8, stealth, precision strike with 9 attack, 16 defense, and 2 damage exploit. So she does get the exploit back, but at best she's doing 2 damage on those without some sort of boost. The good thing is the last 5 clicks she has super senses, and then also gets to heal at the beginning of your turn. So there's a good chance she's going to end back at the like starting point of that 50-point line. But for 25 points more, a 12 attack top dial, if like your opponent doesn't have a bunch of range stuff and she can close the gap, or if you have, you know, some of those time breakers or something, I don't know, 25 extra points, not terrible.
Next up, we have Scout. Old Gabby here, Gabriella Kinney, is Champions, New Mutants, X-Men assassin, and martial artist. She is family bonding trait Gabby. When a friendly bystander hits, after resolutions, a friendly character with the family bonding trait may make an attack. That's pretty dang solid. But Kalder, where are we getting this bystander from? From her second trait called Honey Badger. Once per game, at the beginning of your turn, Scout may generate a Jonathan bystander. Jonathan here is a little Honey Badger guy. We've seen Jonathan before. We know he's a little Honey Badger, a little bystander guy. He's charge, blades, toughness, exploit. He's tiny. He has 1 target. He's an 8, 10, 17, 2. Pretty neat little bystander. Just charge, blades, exploit piece, though. Pretty solid. And that can be made only at the beginning of your turn. So maybe try to get Gabby up in the thick of it and then pop out old Jonathan here or something like that might be helpful. So just like X23, she is also 75 points or 50 points. Unlike X23, she's a very different power setup for that extra 25 points. So Gabby here's been drinking her milk or something, because she is the only one of these family bonding folks that gets invulnerability for some reason. So at her 75 point line, she's invuln flurry blades with no damage power. But then at 50, she is stealth blades, toughness, exploit, which is interesting. And then on her last 3, so she has that for 3 clicks, so 3 through 5. And then on 6 through 8, she has charge, precision strike, and regeneration, and her damage value goes up to a 3. So a very interesting little piece, kind of odd. She's unique. Don't really know what all you do with her, but she plays well with the family bonding folk. You just have to, she's just got no movement attack. So she's either stealth or she's flurry. It's kind of nice that when she's flurry, she has a better reducer, because you have a better chance at like getting hit. And then, yeah, so that's Gabby. Nothing too crazy on little Scout here, but that's what she does. She does make our first bystander of this set, though. It's nice of her.
Yeah. Little Scout MacGuffin kind of character. Yeah. Next up is Dakin. Also rocking the Fang costume.
I just realized, him and X23 are matching. Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
They're twinsies.
His is actually like from the same one, but Fang did appear in the Wolverines like the 6-issue series of Wolverines where Logan was dead, and it was just like all the children's. It was like Dakin, it was Laura, it was Scout, it was Sabretooth, like everyone that was like Wolverine adjacent in like power set and just like familiarity kind of thing. They all joined up for some reason, and at one point they meet Fang, who became like an interdimensional traveling imp thing. But anyhow, Dakin, he's got Marauders, he's got X-Factor, X-Men, Assassin, Martial Artist, Pirate keywords. No Dark Avengers. Interesting. Real name, Akihiro. Because, of course, Dakin is Wolverine's child with, yeah, well, not gonna...
Silver Fox? Or someone?
No.
No? Okay.
It was
Silver Fox is Canadian.
First wife, yeah, it was his first wife in Japan.
In Japan.
So
the one that he fights Silver Samurai for, or whatever. I know some, maybe. I think that sounds right. Something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, I thought his name was just Dakin. I didn't realize. I didn't realize that wasn't his real name.
No, yeah, his actual, yeah. So his mom was Itsu or so, I don't remember, but
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wolverine children out there. There's a whole series where
Logan, what have you done?
All of his children got brainwashed to like come and attack him, and then he felt real bad about it for a while. But anyhow, Dakin, one of the named children, not like the ones that just died instantly, is family bonding Akihiro. Once per turn, when Dakin hits an opposing character with the X-Men keyword, after resolutions, a friendly character with the family bonding trait may make an attack. At the beginning of your turn, this is his second trait, healing factor. At the beginning of your turn, if Dakin has no action tokens, you may heal him 2 clicks, which is pretty strong little healing factor. He has a 75-point line and a 50-point line. For 75 points, you get 8, 12, 18, 3 with charge, precision strike, toughness, and exploit. For 25 points less, you get an 8, 10, 17, 3. So attack goes down by 2, defense goes down by 1. But all the same powers. And then from clicks 3 to 4, it's the same exact stats and powers. From clicks 5 through 6, he loses charge, gets flurry, he gets blades, he gets super senses, and he gets outwit. Once again, great option for Iceman. No special powers, 2 traits.
Ooh, that is true.
+1 attack the whole dial. It really makes his clicks 7 and 8, where he's only a 9 attack, much better. But clicks 5 and 6, where he's flurrying for, if Iceman's there, he's an 11 attack instead of a 10 with blades and outwit. Big danger. Big scary danger. And for 50 points, he's 6 clicks long. For 75 points, he's 8 clicks long. So, I mean, depends on what you're doing, what you pull.
I could potentially see Insealed wanting to spring the extra 25 for the +2 to attack, honestly. But if not, this is a very solid. This is the one I like the most. Out of the family bonding crew, I definitely like Dakin the most. Even if his family bonding trait probably only triggers Insealed, very rare for you to find another X-Men team. You just can't get, not rare, I guess, but you can't guarantee it. So it's just, it's a little more iffy versus like probably going to kill someone 30 points or less, you would assume, or hopefully, Gabby's bystander hits. But as just a solid attacker, I like Dakin the most. Next up, Bob. Robert Dabalina. Is his name actually Bob Dabalina? That's awesome.
Dabalina.
Dabalina.
Bob
He's
Dabble,
aim.
Dabble,
He's aim. He's AIM, Deadpool Corps, Hydra, and Soldier. Bob Dabalina. He's got the Hydra team of. Oh my god.
Bobble.
Oh gosh. Having a stroke, Simeon. His first trait is the offer dental Deadpool. Friendly characters within range that have the Deadpool Corps or Hydra keyword have the Hydra team ability. So for some reason, if you're Hydra keyworded and you don't got the Hydra team ability, well, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. I like that this trait is Bob asking Deadpool for benefits but then Bob just provides the benefits that is the Hydra team ability to Deadpool core. So that's really funny. I like that. It's hilarious. He is a dial very reminiscent of his first ever figure. I want to say almost the exact same powers on old Bob, Agent of Hydra here. Let's see. This is the last time he was made. Okay, not super similar, but very similar. So he is a willpower energy explosion piece. That is all very similar, but instead of having a special speed, he's got sidestep for the first 2 clicks and then stealth for the last 3. To be fair, he did have pseudo stealth on his Captain America set version. His damage power is, of course, not even gonna lie, very similar to the Captain America set version. His Captain America set version is cowardice is my attack, your death is my victory, with a kind of a prob special. And then this power is very, very similar, where it's cowardice is the better part of valor, probability control, but only if an opposing character is within range and line of fire, which I want to say, yeah, as long as Bob is not within 3 squares of an opposing character, he can use prob. So it's just kind of the opposite of that, where only if he can actually see somebody can he use prob, versus only if he is far away from a person could he use prob. So this figure is very, very reminiscent of the old Bob, Agent of Hydra from the Captain America set. So doing a little retro rewind throwback dial about 13 years later, which is kind of cool. It's kind of fun. And then this Bob is just an approved upon version of that. So that's Bob, Agent of Hydra. He's your prob piece, but only if an opposing character is in range and line of fire. So 4 squares. He's got to get up in the battle. This Bob is no longer hiding away. He's had some character development in the past 13 years, and he's ready to throw some grenades and get some people.
Yeah. You know who always has Hydra keyword? Suspiciously always has Hydra keyword.
Ooh, who's that?
Scott Porter.
Oh, that is true. Interesting.
Very
interesting.
Telling, very interesting.
You're right. That's a valid point, Simeon. Interesting, Scott. How do you answer? Interesting.
No, both Scott Porter.
He does.
Do get the Hydra team ability from
they get the Hydra team ability if they choose to have the Hydra keyword, or one just always has it. So yeah,
one always has it. Why he always have it?
Interesting.
Anyhow, next up is Deadpool. Once again, it's 031 Deadpool. This is a classic, more modern kind of looking Deadpool, but very classic still. He has Deadpool core, Great Lake Avengers, 6-pack, Weapon X, and Assassin keywords. I really wish we'd get 6-pack actually completely clicks, but
the actual 6 of them, yeah.
Is there... So from 6-pack we have Deadpool, Domino, Hammer, Deadpool, Grizzly, Cable, Deadpool, Domino, Solo, Hammer. Yeah, I don't think we have like the actual 6-pack done. But anyhow, this Deadpool has Deadpool core, Great Lakes Avengers, 6-pack, Weapon X, and Assassin keywords. He has a special attack power. His last 3 clicks, that is, you want to get manga? Let's get manga. Blades, Claws, Fangs, when Deadpool uses it after resolutions, heal him equal to the D6 result. Before that, he has Sidestep, Precision Strike, and Range Combat Expert with an 11 for 2 on his first 4 clicks. His last 3 clicks, he gets Charge with that special attack power, that Blades, Claws, and then healing him up to the equal to the D6 result, which is a great way to get him like top dial. And for 7 clicks long, 50 points. He's also team player. Like, I think it's solid. If your opponent doesn't just fully deal with him, get him completely off the board, there's a good chance that the next turn he's going to Blades and potentially heal back up. Because it's, when he uses Blades after resolutions, heal him equal to the D6 result. So if he's on click 7 and he rolls a 6, he's going back to top. If he's on, anything from 5, 6, or 7, if he rolls like a 3, he's healing up. It just, it keeps him around for a very long time. It's a very solid way to show his healing powers. And for 50 points, I think it's worth investing for sealed for sure, because he's going to be annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. He's solid. He's more your kind of main character-ish Deadpool-y Deadpool, but I don't know. Also just kind of weird. The Deadpool designs we've seen so far are just kind of, I don't know. They're just kind of odd. But this is closer to what I think of Deadpool, starting off shooting at you, and then he's going in for stabbing at you. And then to round off our uncommons, we have old Kid Omega here. He's got Avengers, Brotherhood of Mutants, Exiles, Phoenix Force, X-Force, and X-Men, and he's the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. He's got a trait, Magneto is right. Sure, cool. I haven't heard that enough in the last 2 weeks. Awesome. Friendly characters with the X-Men keyword.
X-Men 97?
Yeah, I'm watching some X-Men 97. They can only say the genocidal maniac is right so many times before I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, I guess. I hate Professor X, but that doesn't mean Magneto's a good person. He's not. Fun fact, he's a bad man. Turning off all of the electricity in the world, yeah, my cousin with a pacemaker is going to have a great time with that. Thank you, Magneto.
It's two extremes. But yeah.
Yes.
Reversing the electromagnetic pole on the Earth and shutting off the power. It's like anyone that was on life support, anyone that like required, I don't know, like some sort of refrigeration or anyone that was like in a boiling hot climate. Like there's a lot of people that died from Magneto. We rely
on electricity quite a bit. And don't get me wrong, the Sentinel people are bad. They are bad. Like they're terrifying.
Oh yeah.
But we definitely more people died because of that than the Sentinels could have gotten to. But anyways, yes, Quintavious Choir here says Magneto was right. Friendly characters of the X-Men keyword have the Brotherhood team ability. Friendly characters of the Brotherhood team ability instead succeed on a 9 through 12 when using it. This is actually just straight up buff to Brotherhood and X-Men. So he's giving out the X-Men keyword. So yeah, toss him in the X-Men freaking theme team. Giving out Brotherhood, this is pretty dang solid. He is kind of got a funky dial. So he's 50 points. He's 5 range, 2 targets. He ignores hindering for line of fire. He's got mind control for his first 2 clicks, force blast on his last 3. He has a special attack power on his first 2 clicks, which is psionic shotgun, which gives him energy explosion, telekinesis, and knockback. So he's a neat little attacker who can also TK. So he's kind of this interesting little support tertiary attacker piece. It's kind of odd. Kind of unique. He is a 12 attack top dial with that, which is really cool. So the shotgun's blasting. He also has barrier for his defense on just his first click. So he is also a barrier TK. And then he has 2 clicks of outwit top dial with 1 damage. So kind of if you're going to attack, it's got to be that energy explosion. Otherwise, maybe, take an action TK barrier. But then he's also a little mind control double target piece with outwit. So he's got a lot of options top dial, which is really cool. Down dial, he gets a little more simplistic, but never less of a threat. He's force blast, pulse wave, probability control. So now if you've knocked him down dial and, oh man, old Choir here is really going to mess you up and just pulse wave, force blast. And then just in case if he misses, he'll go ahead and prob himself if need be. So pretty solid little piece. He does kind of a lot when you really start to break him down for 50 points. I was not really going to talk about this guy too much, but I'm like, oh dang. The more I kind of look into it, he does just have a lot of options. So kind of look at what your X-Men or Brotherhood or whatever team is looking like and kind of figure out what you want his role to be, because honestly, he can fill in a lot of spaces. He is on the higher point side, but I do think maybe that's kind of fair for all the stuff he's bringing to the table. I don't know. Kid Omega's kind of neat. I kind of do dig this.
Yeah. I think just like the power, like kind of like randomness, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like really solid.
Very.
Like, top dial. You have barrier, you have outwit, you have TK. For 50 points, that like brings a lot to the table. You have traded, or not traded, but you have knockback on that special power. So like any attack that he does knockback. And then yeah, like mind control, double target, sees through hindering. Is he our first sees through hindering in this set?
I want to say somebody else had it. Maybe he is. I want to say, did Jubilee have it? No, she did not. Boom Boom had it.
Oh.
But she has no move and attack. To be fair, he doesn't have any move and attack either. That's another strike, I guess, against old Kid Omega. No move and attack is tough. Yeah, so it looks like our sees through hindering characters also just don't have move and attack, which is, A little rough. A little rough.
So also like better for balancing. Like,
That is true.
causes
That is true.
causes you to take a turn in between. But all right, let's get to our rares. Number
Get to 'em.
33. It's Psylocke. We've got Excalibur, Exiles, Mojoverse, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, and Martial Artist. Let's see how many Mojoverse characters. In this set so far, we have 5 Mojoverse characters.
Ooh.
In previous sets, so the X of Swords storyline organized play kit, the Empire set, Rise and Fall, a LE, X-Men Animated, Deadpool X-Force. All in all, we have 6 from Wolverine and the X-Men. 7 is from a Psylocke that was a convention exclusive. Longshot that was an LE. So that's 8. Shatterstar, the only character from Deadpool and the X-Force that had it. Mojo and Spiral, the only characters from X-Men Animated Series that had it. Phoenix Sentinel, the only character after the XDPS set, and that was a LE or a convention exclusive. Longshot, the only character from X-Men Rise and Fall. Dazzler, the only character from Empire. And then from the X of Swords storyline organized play kit, we had Dazzler and then the Mojo 2x2. And then we have 5 characters in this set. Not a lot, but a surprisingly large
A
amount.
little decent amount.
Yeah. So, Mojoverse, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, Martial Artist. She has a trait that is Psychic Ninja. Stealth, Mind Control. Mind Control is free, but only to target an adjacent character, which is great because guess what? She's got top dial. That's right, it's charge. So she can charge, Mind Control, double target with her double lightning bolts, 3 range, and then Mind Control is free, but only to target an adjacent character. So she could also potentially range attack, Mind Control 2 characters from 3 range away, and then Mind Control the one that she moves next to herself. She also has a special attack power, her whole dial, that is Psionic Blade Disruption. Blades Claws Fangs. When Psylocke uses it after resolutions, she may use the effect corresponding to the D6 result. On a 1, make a close attack. On a 2, give the hit character or hit target an action token. On a 3, choose a standard power. The hit target can't use that power until your next turn. On a 4, the hit target can't use team abilities until your next turn. And on a 5, you heal Psylocke 3 clicks. On a 6, if Psylocke KO'd a character this turn, remove an action token from her. Which may be the worst one, surprisingly. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to hit, roll a 6, and then you get to remove an action token, whereas the other option is I hit, I roll a 5, I heal 3. I think I want that more often. But for 75 points, she is a 8 speed, 11 attack, 18 defense with combat reflexes, 3 damage with shape change. So she's a 20 for close. She's an 11 with that special blades. And then, of course, she has a rollout. For 40 points, she's starting on her leap climb, special attack power, super senses, and enhancement click, which I actually really like. I love like shoving her up forward. Maybe you don't get the blades to pop off, but you can get an enhancement to pop off. You can potentially get super senses. If they don't hit you for 3 damage for 40 points, if they only hit you for like 1 or 2, then there's a chance that you get to that shape change super sense click. So double rollout, pretty solid. And then of course she has traded stealth, mind control, which yeah. So for 40 points, you could mind control 2 people, or you could free target somebody that's adjacent. So a lot of options, pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't love the world's wordiest attack power to ever exist, but it's fine. She's solid. She's okay enough. The 40-point line seems a little high, but I do like it as her economic, just like you said, shove her up in there, free mind control, and see what happens. So it's pretty cool. Sheriff Deadpool here. He is a little Wild West action, a little sleeveless Wild West action. All Sheriff Deadpool. He's got police team ability. He's a wild card. Deadpool core, Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, and Police. He's got 2 traits, which means that's right, you guessed it, +1 attack from Iceman, 6 range, 2 targets, and here's our ignores hindering terrain with move and attack. Little ignores hindering terrain, running shot, energy explosion, super senses, and probability control for his first 4 clicks of life. He's an 8/11, 18/4 top dial, which is really solid. And then his last 3 clicks, he is a sidestep, precision strike, regeneration, and ranged combat expert. So he's actually an 11/4 on the last 3 clicks of his dial as well. You may not want to even regen how solid he's hitting. 75 points. So he's got the quick draw trait. When Sheriff Deadpool hits with a range attack, if it was during your first action this turn, you can go ahead and remove an action token from him. His second trait is I will multi-smite you. Penetrating Psychic Blast. So now think about everything I just said with the EE, with the Precision Strike, with the RCE, with the 2 targets. Now we just lop Pensai onto that, and hot dog, are we cooking? Once per turn, when Sheriff Deadpool hits with a range attack, after resolutions, he may make a range attack using Incapacitate. This Deadpool rocks. I think he's an instant, sealed pull and play. He's a running shot Pensai EE prob piece. What he makes up for in having no defense reducer, I think he easily makes up for in being just a great ranged attacker, having higher than average range with that 6. He's got a 10 square reach on a small map. It's very solid. So I love this Deadpool in sealed, and I think he'll be pretty fun to build with in pulp and casually, but I don't think he's necessarily a competitive pulp piece or anything, but he's a great sealed bomb.
Yeah, I agree. I think, 1, it's one of the more fun sculpts, but 2, just traded Pensai, energy explosion, 11/4, prob, sees through hindering. I think this is a great rare to pull just because of how much damage it can put out. I think if we haven't learned at this point that Pensai plus energy explosion equals bad time for teams that need to group up to move, or teams that carry up, then yeah, this guy's a great option to prove that point.
Yeah.
Next up, it's from what I've read online, it's X-Men 97 Hobo Desert Homeless Man or something like that. I can't remember.
He's got a house.
Yeah.
There's a house.
It's weird because they're like, oh, the desert hobo, and I'm like, he literally is like, hey Storm, here's my house, welcome. It's 2 stories.
What people are saying about
There's
Forge
multiple
online,
rooms.
that's messed up.
Yeah, they're really dragging him, and it's
The disrespect of Forge is insane. Forge rocks.
it's wild because none of it is even remotely true, because he's straight up in a house, and then they're like, oh, he's homeless. I guess he's homeless because somebody punched a hole through his roof in one of the episodes.
Someone did really mess up his house. That is true.
But Forge has the Shield team ability, X-Men team ability. He has X-Factor, X-Force, X-Men, Mystical, Scientist, and Soldier keywords. He has a special damage power, his whole dial, which is Supercharged Science, Perplex, Support. When an adjacent multi-base character or adjacent character with the robot or vehicle keyword is given a move or power action, after resolutions you may place Forge adjacent to that character, which is decent because you give them a move or power action, they move or charge or whatever it is that they do, and then you place Forge adjacent, and he's got Perplex Support to heal them back up. He's got Shield to boost their range or damage. He's got X-Men to potentially heal them back up, although I don't know why you'd take an action for X-Men when you already have traded support, or not traded, but special power support.
Yeah.
But I do find it interesting his real name is unknown. Also, he's one of the fewest characters that we've seen that actually is holding a gun.
I know.
Object. It's
Dude.
Wild. All the characters that are sharpshooters, that are specialty snapshot, crack shot, whatever, and then Forge of all people holding big old gun.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but of all people, him holding the gun. Yeah.
It's refreshing. At least someone's got it. But yeah, it's weird that it's not like a Deadpool or Outlaw or whatever, but it's mechanic guy.
Deadshot? Maybe
Deadshot,
from
jeez.
2 sets ago, having big old laser cannon.
Man
like,
with
we
shots
can't
in
give
the
him-
name.
We can't give him a sniper rifle. It's like, oh, but you can give Forge mega laser cannon, like X-23 mag rail, like disintegrates people gun. Like, yeah, a bullet is bad, but like this thing,
Giant
whatever
lasers,
this
cool.
gun thing that he does, obviously doesn't just kill people when it hits them.
Yeah, no. Of course not.
But anyhow, Forge, he's 35 points. He's got all that stuff. His first 2 clicks are sidestep, incapacitate. He has willpower on click 1. He has toughness from clicks 2 through 4. On clicks 3 and 4, he gets knockback and psychic blast to go along with his toughness. He's got
Here's the gun coming into play.
Yeah, that psychic blast on those last 2 clicks. He's like, I guess I was gonna incapacitate you, but laser beam. That like Forge's mutant power is like one of the weirdest. Where it's like my mutant ability is if it is a thing that somebody wants or needs and I can make, then I can make it.
I can make it. I can think of it. If I can think of it, I can build it.
One of my favorites is
engineering degree on steroids. I'm just great.
Yeah, Bill Nye, the science guy on steroids.
Yeah,
he's got that engineering degree. But no, one of my favorite comics with Forge is he's not even like a main character, but it's just the I think it's Rick Remender did the X-Force title for a while, and Forge decides to fight Dr. Nemesis like for funsies. Dr. Nemesis makes like a giant scorpion kaiju thing, and Forge makes like some mech robot thing to fight it. And that's just like happening in the background while like
now that's
Forge
manga
is actually doing stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's awesome, and yeah, like Forge plays like a big part in a lot of comics nowadays because he's kind of just like the Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. Like quite literally, he's like, we need this thing, and then it's like, oh right, there's that mutant that we have. That
here you go.
So, but no,
say it. Say less. Here you guys go.
Yeah. How could we possibly transfer consciousnesses and also keep all the data of every mutant consciousness on Earth in a stored facility? Oh wait, there's Forge. Yes, Professor Xavier, I have already done that. I have Macran crystals. And that's how it goes.
Dang, Forge, you're so cool. Next up, we got Sabretooth, who I also think is just a sealed bomb. This dude rocks. Brotherhood of Mutants, Exiles, Marauders, Weapon X, Animal, and Brute. He's got the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. He's got 2 traits, 75 points, 9, count them, 9 clicks of life on old Victor Creed here. First trait is I have a healing factor 2. At the beginning of your turn, heal Sabretooth 1 click. Bada bing, bada boom. Ain't that great? Second trait is Stay Down. Make an attack, but only to target an opposing character that has healed since your last turn. So little free make an attack action if somebody healed. This is relevant just for a lot of things. Sabretooth has a 9-click long dial. So he'll be around definitely long enough for other people to have taken damage and healed, I would say, in most games. So that's really cool. And then for his first 6 clicks of life, Sabretooth is just casually a charge flurry leap climb piece. That is his track you down special speed power. That is awesome. He's got an entire dial of Battle Fury. He's got an entire dial of Blades, Claws, Fangs. His first 6 clicks have toughness. His last 3 have regeneration. Like I said, his first 6 have that special track you down speed power. And then his last 3 just have leap climb. So hopefully by then he is in the thick of it. Or maybe he needs to retreat and regen or something at that point in the game. But Sabretooth just rocks. He's running in there. He's 12 for 4 top dial. So roll blade, sure, whatever. I'm doing at least 3 damage no matter what. That's gnarly. That freaking rocks. Sabretooth is he's here to mess you up. He's here to just beat Wolverine up on his birthday or whatever it is Sabretooth constantly finds himself doing. But this Sabretooth just rocks. I really, really like him.
Yeah. I love the simplicity of like the dial. Full dial of Blades, full dial of Battle Fury. I don't know. It's got a lot of ways to heal. It's got a lot of, like a long dial, like you said. It's, free make an attack. I mean, It's an actually frightening Sabretooth, which is good because there was a very frightening Sabretooth in comics recently. It's been like a ongoing thing for like the Sabretooth core or whatever you want to call it. The Sabretooth. What did they call the Reed Richards Council of Sabretooths?
Council of Reeds, Council of Sabretooths.
Next up, we've got the non-prime Rogue. So she's rocking like a metal-looking fist. She got the glove off, classic kind of Rogue hairstyle, and then just normal like leotard stuff. She's got Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men team ability, Avengers, Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men team ability, or keywords. Jeez. So yeah, she's missing one of the team abilities, and that's Avengers. But otherwise, she has all the keywords. 037A in the set, and she's got a single trait that is ready for your beaten sugar. Knockback. Characters knocked back by Rogue can't reduce damage this turn. So she just straight up does knockback. If she knocked them back, they can't reduce damage. Which is crazy because top dial, she is a 6-speed hypersonic with flight, a 12 attack, 4 damage with close combat expert, 0 range, 1 lightning bolt. So she's a 13 for 5 with traded knockback, and then characters can't reduce damage if they get knocked back. So
that's pretty like nuts.
Punks on somebody and then just says like, hey, the rest of this turn you're fragile, you gotta be scared. And that is scary because that's a 13 for 5 is already a bunch of damage you're putting on somebody. And then characters knocked back by her. If you find a way to give her like Quake or some sort of multi-attack or something, that would also combo with characters that are knocked back. So, like, there's definitely potential for her in Constructed. She has top dial 18 Impervious. On clicks 3 and 4, she goes to an 18 Invincible with regular charge, super strength, no damage power. And then on clicks 5 and 6, her last 2 clicks, she gets Flurry with a 5 speed, 10 attack, 18 invuln, and 4 damage with close combat expert again. So even on her last click, she's an 11 for 5. There's only 3 clicks where she's not... Well, clicks 3 and 4, she's got super strength, so potentially still doing a ton of damage. But yeah, there's only technically 3 clicks where she's not doing 5 damage. And that's kind of insane. The fact that she's...
It is really nuts.
Brotherhood is cool.
I think she's...
Great. Yeah.
She's really only balanced by her low speed starting out. So potentially, if you can try to shoot her first, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, it's going to hurt like very bad.
Do not hit you because
whatever you do, if you can, don't let her hit you because, oh my gosh, the 12 for 5 is insane. The Flurry 11, or the 13 for 5. The Flurry 11 for 5 down dial, Lord help you if you're still alive at that point, because you won't be by the end of it.
Imagine if you're like against a wall on those clicks because she hits you once.
Knockback, no reduce.
Yeah, you get knocked back, you can't reduce damage this turn, and then she hits you 11 for 5. Can't reduce damage. Like, there's not a character that survives that. There's very few characters that survive that, I should say. Most of them are multi-base, so they can't be knocked back. But yeah, no, it's a great version of Rogue. It's a different version of Rogue because it's not stealing powers or stealing energy or anything like that. It's just it's just a very
punching,
very punchy, very strong Rogue. I dig it.
Next up, we have Prime Rogue, who is just... Something about the rare primes are just big number, long dial, the character. And that's very much so with this. So this is Rogue at her just absolute most powerful, copying, like touching all the X-Men or whatever when she's copying everybody's powers or something, because she's just got quite the power spread and she goes pretty nuts here. So her first trait... So first off, she's 11 clicks of life. She ignores blocking terrain, destroys it as she moves through it. She's either 250 or 175. And for 75 points, you get 3 more clicks of life. And then +2 to speed, +1 to damage. And then you're more of a hypersonic speed perplex versus a running shot Pensai RCE. So really, honestly, it's very comparable stats. I really don't know why you'd ever pay the extra 75 points to put her on hypersonic imperv versus running shot invuln pensai RCE, but whatever. That is a choice you can do. It exists. It's there. Her first trait, I don't need your help, Charles. Stealth, super strength. Second trait, the gloves have come off. As you can see, she actually has both gloves off in this sculpt versus one, but she is holding them in one hand. When Rogue hits, hit characters can't use displayed powers until your next turn. That's a lot. Dang. If the hit character was equipped, unequip their equipment. When Rogue hits, so / when Rogue hits, choose a standard power printed on a hit character's card. Rogue can use the chosen power this game. So have fun keeping track of all the powers Rogue is copying, because that's her main deal. She's going to be copying a ton of stuff. So she hits you, boop, no powers for you, and then also gets rid of your equipment. So how nice is that? How nice, Rogue. She has a stop click on click 3, 7, and 11. Each stop click has the same powers, which is hypersonic speed, steal energy, and battle fury. And it's always a 6, 11, 18, 3. So that's kind of neat. Her stop is
some of the best combo to have on the stop click. I think Unimind was the last one to have like hypersonic steal energy on stop click.
Yeah. I guess I can't really say if I know exactly who it was, but yeah.
I feel I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it feels like that doesn't happen often, having hypersonic steal energy.
I don't think so.
Stop click. Yeah.
Her stop is That's Enough, which is stop invincible. When this click is revealed after resolutions, you remove an action token from Rogue. So she's double token, maybe she got one token, blah, blah, blah. Who knows, whatever. Not only does she hit stop, but she's mad that you've now punched her and messed up her mommy mullet that she's rocking or something. And she's coming back at you. She's angry. She got the token off. She's going to come punch you. So pretty gnarly. So, like I said, her dial's kind of broken up into chunks. Top dial, she's a 10 speed hypersonic, 12 attack precision strike, 19 imperv with a 5 damage and perplex. On her second, so then she goes to a stop on click 3, and then she has a set of 3 powers, and this kind of repeats. Her next set of 3 clicks are her 175 point line, which is 8 speed running shot, 12 attack pensai, 19 defense, invulnerability, and then a 4 damage with RCE. So really, she's 13 for 5. Which is basically what she would also give. She perplexed up her attack top dial. So I kind of like running shot pensai, not necessarily obviously as much as I like hypersonic speed as a 10 speed, but this is still a very, very strong dial. And I think for saving 75 points, it's the better choice. Then she hits her stop on click 7. And then after that, she has a new set of 3 clicks. This one is Charge, Poison, Toughness, and Close Combat Expert, which once again, she's a 13 for 5 on the click right after stop. So I don't know how often you're going to be hit right on to that click, since more than likely her whole stop clicks are meant to just heal you 1 above it. But still, really strong stuff. So her dial kind of follows a pretty cool pattern there. She slowly gets, the worst reducer, eventually becoming not as fast, right? Hypersonic, okay, and then running shot, okay, now finally charge. So pretty solid little powerhouse Rogue here, though. So if you were looking for a one-girl army Rogue, I guess this is it, because she's pretty dang nuts. I do think in Sealed, she is a must-play at the 175-point line. I think that, combined with the stop clicks, combined with the token removing, is really, really good. Also, she's Cosmic Energy. What version of Rogue is this? Oh my gosh. She drinks her milk. What the heck? Yeah, I guess she's also just Cosmic Energy. Holy smokes, that's good.
She definitely touched someone. That's all we can say. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
She did something.
She's definitely touching someone.
Stole some power. I think my only gripe is that those stop clicks means that you can't combo her with Iceman. So
that is true.
Very rough.
If only she could have been a 14 top dial. If only. Now she's useless. You're right, Simeon. I can't play this piece.
So useless, yeah.
She sucks.
Definitely not just gonna auto win most sealed, I think. Next up is Atlas Bear. This is the last of our CUR hotshots. So, when probably one of the most important hotshots. We kind of went over. I kind of went over Domino a little bit, the super rare, just in like her trait, but Atlas Bear has when Atlas Bear hits, after resolutions, give her a Hot Shots token. She also has friendly characters with a Hot Shots trait have when this character would be KO'd, if they have any Hot Shot tokens, instead remove all their Hot Shot tokens and turn them to their last non-KO click, Protected Pulse Wave, Protected Pulse Wave. So if if you pull the pack that has Atlas Bear, has Kamiho, has Diamondback, and Red or Black Widow. Those, I think that's the 5 that come in the pack: Black Widow, Diamondback, Outlaw, Kamiho, and Atlas Bear. I think those 5 come in a pack that we pulled. So it is like a theme pack. If you pull that, that means any of your characters that like in that pack that hit have this protected Pulse Wave, protected Outwit, KO, like don't die kind of thing if they've hit at least once. So like that alone is like kind of insane. But then for 70 points, she is a 7 speed, 11 attack, 3 damage with Outwit, 18 defense with Energy Shield, so she's a 20 from range. Her special damage or special attack power is Giant Reach of 3, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Probability Control, and that is the Vibranium Meteor Hammer. So her whole dial she has Prob, her whole dial she has Outwit, and then on both starting clicks, either 70 or 50, she has Sidestep, Flight, Passenger 5, but only to carry characters that share a keyword with her, which are Wakanda, Assassin, Mystical, and Soldier keywords. So, I mean, 70 is like fine if you want that extra attack value, that extra defense value, that extra damage value, but also Blades, Claws, Fangs, plus Giant Reach 3, plus Prob. Maybe a 10 for 2 is fine with Outwit. And also like the same exact things, like the same trait, the same speed power. I don't know, 50 points, 20 points less. Seems very economical. And in Sealed, just like insanely good taxi. I think it's one of the only taxis in this like set that actually carries more than 1 or 2 people. And it's only for Assassin, Wakanda, Mystical, and Soldiers. But there's a few Mystical, there's a few Assassins, and there's a few Soldiers. I think more so this is for the Hot Shots, but yeah.
Definitely.
If you do pull this pack, congratulations, you have a full pack that is incredibly hard to kill if they can keep hitting. You also have somebody that has a prob on their attack power plus an Outwit, which is wild. We almost never see
Pretty
that.
strong, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when has prob been on attack? Like, when actually, literally ever? I
kind of want to look it up because I think this is the first prob for a special attack power. It's probably like something from like Immortal Hulk or something, or not Immortal Hulk, Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Incredible Hulk,
had some weird attack power stuff.
I suppose, anybody that's like maybe a gun person that's like, oh, I'm shooting so much, prob on attack, shooty power, something like that. I love Atlas Bear just simply as just a sidestep, flight, carry freaking 5 for her keywords. It's gnarly. As somebody that loves playing the soldier keyword, literally one of all time favorite keywords. I love having a great like carry piece like this. So the last time we had a good soldier carry was old Hal Jordan from Wonder Woman. So we haven't had a modern like crazy amount of soldiers to carry since then. So she's a great just soldier carry piece, a few other good keywords. So I really like Atlas Bear. I like what she does. I like being able to reposition with sidestep. It's really simple. If you're only moving up a little bit the ways up the map and it's not an alpha strike, the speed doesn't need to be insane for a carry piece in these smaller maps. So the 6-speed sidestep is solid. Also lets you carry 2 people and sidestep over when you're on a single starting area line. It lets you get to the other people to then actually like fully carry 5. So I think sidestep is just kind of necessary for a multi-person carry piece. So I like Atlas Bear a lot. She's cool. Next up, we got old Shatterstar here. I really enjoy Shatterstar for Sealed here. I think he's really cool. So Excalibur, Mojoverse, New Mutants, X Factor, X-Force, Future, and Warrior. A dude so cool, his last name is a number. Old Gavididra 7. Neat. He's 65 or 40 points, so depending on how much you want to save or shave off, you can go ahead and minus 15 there, play him at 40, or actually 25 instead, and play him at 40. He has improved movement, blocking terrain, characters, and elevated. He has triple target with 0 range. He's a full dial of exploit, a full dial of Blaze Claw's Fangs, and a full dial of his special speed power. First 2 clicks he has super senses, last 2 clicks he has super senses, and then 3 and 4 in the middle he's got combat reflexes. And click 4 is his starting line, so combat reflexes will be his starting defense power at lower. His special speed power is empathically driven teleportation. Flurry sidestep. When Shatterstar uses Flurry, before making the second attack, you may place him up to 4 squares away from his current square. / when Shatterstar attacks one or more characters that he hasn't attacked this turn, you modify his attack +1. So, again, a great way to say, yep, you should teleport, because his first attack is always going to be a 12 attack, which is gnarly. And then if you just want to try to finish off that same guy, though, somebody else, now you're back up to it. It gives you a lot of options. If you want to just deal 1 penetrating damage to 3 people, I guess you can totally do that with his triple target. But I'm probably leaning more towards the Flurry, target 1 person, try to roll a big blades, teleport over, get a new person, try to roll big blades. I really like the Shatterstar. I think you play him at 65, though. I think 40.
Yeah.
40 is a little scary. It's a little low. A little too left clicks.
Plus, like, Blades exploit, yeah, you want the 65 for only 25 points more. I think it's worth it. Plus 2 speed, kind of big.
That is big, yeah. That is big for a charge piece. Or actually, he is sidestep. He is not a charge, but he sidestep.
All right, next up is maybe the most boring rare we have. Not really. It is boring rare, but it is a 040. It's unique. Beast. Henry McCoy. He's got Avengers, Illuminati, X-Factor, X-Men, Animal, Scientist keywords, X-Men team ability. He has a special defense power and a special damage power. All 4 clicks of his dial. So he is Leap Climb, 8 speed, his whole dial, 10 attack, Blades, his whole dial, 18 for his first 2 clicks, 17 for his last 2 on defense, and then 3 damage his whole dial for 30 points. His special damage power is Deep Thoughts, which is Outwit. When Beast uses it, he can instead choose 3 standard powers, Protected Outwit. Then he has a special defense power that is still a beast, toughness, combat reflexes. So technically, 20 for close on his first clicks. I think the Deep Thoughts special damage power is solid enough and sealed, because it is just straight up Outwit for 30 points. It's Leap Climb combined with that. He also can potentially make attacks with blades, and yeah, like there's things going on, but he can instead choose 3 standard powers. There's a chance where this just doesn't like work out, where like there's not 3 standard powers to choose, or there's not, like you can choose like a special power, and then if you choose a special power, you can't instead choose 3 standard powers. You'd have to be like, oh, your special power is like super senses invincible. Okay, I'll pick super senses invincible, and then I get like one other one. So it's not as impressive as it seems on paper, but it is still just kind of nuking one character, which is cool.
Yeah, I think people are kind of overhyping Beast, at least they were initially. It's solid, and I think it's kind of cool to build around, but I don't think it's as insane as people were kind of letting on.
Yeah.
Next up, old lady Deathstrike here. She's a Reaver, Thunderbolts, Weapon X, Assassin, Martial Artist, and Robot. She has the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. She has the target trait. I don't think we've gotten anybody there yet, so I'll read it. Might as well. Beginning of the game, for all friendly characters with this trait, give a target token to an opposing character. For all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the Assassin keyword KOs an opposing character with the target token, score 25 victory points. Pretty cool. She's got a second trait called Downloading the Digital Consciousness. Combat reflexes. When Lady Deathstrike is KO'd, choose a friendly character with the robot keyword. This game, that character gains the assassin keyword and can use the traits on this card. Protected Pulse Wave. So it really just gives out combat reflexes to another robot, because unless they have the assassin, keyword, the whole target trait thing isn't all that helpful. But at the very least, kind of neat, kind of cool. And then she's got a special speed power, her entire dial, which is Stand on Your Graves. Charge, but don't have speed if an opposing character was KO'd this turn. So she's a little 45-point charge blades piece. Like I said, she's got that speed, power, her whole dial. She has Blades, Claws, Fangs her entire dial. She's got 2 clicks invulnerability, 1 click of super senses in the middle. Kind of interesting, I guess. It's kind of just, it's there, sure. And then on clicks 4 and 5, her last 2 clicks, she has regen. Her first 3 clicks, she's got close combat expert, and then her last 2 clicks, she has battle fury. So she's going to be a 12 for 4 charging. It's up to you if you want to roll blades on that or not. You know, I won't tell you what to do, but I'd probably just stick with the 12 for 4 personally. But she's a neat little piece. I don't know how often she'll really get used, but if this is your rare and sealed, you at least got a tertiary, like, potential, full speed charge piece. But honestly, I don't know. It depends on what you're able to kill. And sealed, maybe a tiebreaker or something crazy, you can get killed so you can get a full speed charge, but you can't really guarantee her full speed charge. So I'm not in love with this Lady Deathstrike. I don't think she's... Honestly, I really don't think she's all that great. Her handing out traits thing just means they can... Oh, I guess I missed this. They do gain the assassin keyword.
Yeah.
I totally missed that. But it really is just giving out combat reflexes. So it's like...
Yeah.
And the assassin keyword, I guess, which is nice. But it's not... I don't know. I'm not really impressed with Lady Deathstrike. It's kind of a bummer.
The only reason it gives them the assassin keyword is to like help with her target token.
Target, yeah.
Trait, so...
Not really.
Yeah. The next character is also quite simple. It's Pandapool. He is 042. He's got Deadpool core, animal, assassin, martial artist keywords, real name unknown. He's got 2 traits. Gotta make time to eat. Pandapool can't be given a costed action if he has an action token. So some like Molly Hayes. If you have an action token, you have to clear it. You can't be given a second one. When Pandapool clears action tokens, which... According to this trait, he should only ever be able to clear 1 unless he gets incapacitated or something, I guess. So when Pandapool clears action tokens, heal him 3 clicks if he's within 2 squares of any plant terrain markers. His second trait is Bamboo. At the beginning of the game, generate 3 plant hindering terrain markers anywhere on the map. This game, those markers have... When this marker hinders line of fire, characters instead modify defense +2 from the characters with the animal keyword within 2 squares of 1 or more plant terrain markers modify attack and damage +1. Which I think that trait alone is big enough to like kind of consider him for a couple different things. And then he's got a speed power, his whole dial. The species that endangers you. Charge, flurry. So his whole dial, 6 speed, charge, flurry. First 4 clicks, he's got super strength with an 11 attack. Last 3 clicks, he has 10 attack with Blades, Claws, Fangs. Whole dial of invulnerability with 18s through click 4, 17s from click 5 through 7, 4 damage from clicks 1 through 4, 3 damage from clicks 5 through 7. So very simple, very consistent dial, but a full dial of charge flurry, a full dial of, potentially modifying attack and damage +1, modifying defense +2. There's like a lot of different stuff. Makes this guy interesting for 60 points. I think he's worth keeping an eye on for a rare. 60 points seems like...
Yeah, I think he's kind of neat.
Seems
at the
pretty
very
high,
least,
but yeah. Like,
I think he's a character that people have been asking for a little bit for Pandapool. So like that's fun. Some cool Deadpool variants is always kind of enjoyable, but straight up for sealed.
Yeah, definitely for sealed, I would say.
Next up, we have the rare Colossus. Old Piotr Rasputin here is clocking in at 100 points. Acolytes, Excalibur, X-Force, X-Men, and Armor keywords. And then he has the X-Men team ability. He has a trait called Iron Curtain. Colossus and adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with him can reduce penetrating damage and can't have their combat values modified by opposing effects. So that's pretty cool. So now all your X-Men are reducing pen damage. They can't have their combat values modified. It's pretty neat. And then his special defense power he has, his entire dial is Defend My Friends. Defend, Invulnerability, and then this has Protected Outwit and Pulse Wave. He ignores blocking terrain. When he moves through it, destroys it. Full dial of charge. First 3 clicks, he's got super strength. Last 4, he is Quake. And then he alternates between Empower and Close Combat Expert his entire dial. He's a 12 for 4 top dial with, an object or a terrain marker that he can hit you with. When he does go down to Quake, he does go to a 2 damage, which is a little rough for Colossus. So I guess that means you better be Quaking or on one of his close combat expert clicks. So he'll actually be a 12 for 3 or an 11 for 3 on those ones. So it's just kind of iffy there. But I like him. He's a cool little team player, Colossus for the X-Men. I think he's pretty fun.
I agree. Yeah. Next up, not a very fun Colossus.
I hate this guy so much.
The gold skin Fortnite version of Colossus, Cosmic Energy, Brotherhood of Mutants, Armor, Ruler keywords. He's got the Pawn of Shadow King trait and the Sustenance from the Shadows trait. So the first one is Mind Control. When Colossus uses it after resolutions, deal a hit character damage equal to Colossus's printed damage value. His printed damage value from clicks 1 through 4 is 5, 4, 4, 4. The rest of his dial 5 through 9 is 3. So Mind Control, and then you take that as well. That's traded. Sustenance from the Shadows is opposing characters can't use Safeguard Mind Control, including from Battle Fury. So even though Colossus has Battle Fury his whole dial, opposing characters still can get Mind Controlled even if they have Battle Fury, even if they have some form of Safeguard Mind Control. Doesn't matter. And then his whole dial, he has a special defense power, and it's his only special power that's Unstoppable, Untiring, Impervious. Colossus can reduce penetrating damage. So for 80 points, he also improved movement, destroys blocking when he moves through it. For 80 points, you get 9 clicks of life. You start with a 12, 12, 25, which is the cheapest 80 points is the cheapest version of a 20 defense I think we've ever seen.
Yeah. Is it? Well,
the original
Despotellis
had a 20 on the Watcher.
Yeah, there's a few 20 defense.
Despo had it.
There's a few.
But still,
Ant-Man, yeah, there's a handful.
For somebody that does 5 damage top dial, it's the cheapest. He goes down to a 19 on clicks 2 and 3, 18 the entire rest of his dial. He's reducing pen damage. He's got Impervious. He's going to be a lot to deal with, and then he's also potentially charging, mind controlling, dealing his printed damage value. So this guy's kind of nuts. Opposing
a little
characters
bit.
Can't be protected from him. He is protected from them with his reduces penetrating damage and stuff. So I don't know. It's possible. I think this guy's kind of a jerk and sealed. I think he might win most things.
This is mean and sealed. The fact, I don't know. So the idea that let's just give him the stupidest stats I've seen in the small map era of HeroClix. It's 12, 12, 25. That's nuts. Mind control, boom, hits you. Guess what? After resolutions, you get dealt 5 printed, not from an attack. So sucks to be you. Go through stop. Ignore your dumb stuff. I like the idea that when he mind controls, he headbutts somebody, and then that's him, like, just brain to brain mind controlling you. And then he just says, "Oh yeah, here you go, boop, 5," and just clobbering you, 5 damage, idiot, dummy. And then, yeah, just good stuff is good. Impervious. Of course, he can reduce it. And also, that's protected outwit. Dang. Thank goodness Captain America and Murmasa exist, because this dude is a pain in the butt. I don't know. This dude is silly. He's silly in, like, the worst ways. He's so mean. Colossus. Shadow King, you're so mean.
Yeah. Shadow King's kind of, every time he appears on, like, an alternate version of a character, he always...
Such a jerk.
Kind of powerful, kind of crazy.
Yeah. A little powerful. Next up, we got Cyclops. He's Champions, X Factor, X-Men, Pilot, and Vehicle. I don't get why he has Champions, unless he was part of the original Champions team, because it was only like little tiny, little young boy, little baby Cyclops was on the Champions team, so I don't know why grown human adult Cyclops has Champions, but...
It kind of looks like Earth X Cyclops, where he's just like...
Does he?
Like,
just because he's not wearing his visor, he's just kind of like a dude wearing clothes.
Like, kind of old and gross.
Does he look old and gross? I don't know. His hair's brown.
Yeah.
I think he's bald in Earth X, isn't he?
I don't know if he's bald, but he's like... I can't remember if it's Earth X or... I think it's Earth X, where he, like,
He like gets
powers
the
are
band
reduced?
of circus mutants. Yeah, he's got kind of weaker powers. He
Can,
kind of
like,
assembles
control
other people.
TVs with his lasers now.
Oh, I don't remember him doing that. But I guess that maybe I didn't focus on his side story that much. But old old Cyclops here just got smooth moves for the first 2 clicks of life, which just gives him sidestep force blast. That's his speed power, ladies and gents. Sidestep force blast, full dial of toughness up until he gets to his stop click right on 7. And then he's got leadership his entire dial, penetrating psychic blast his entire dial, 6 range. He shoots through blocking and destroys it. And then he has force blast the rest of his dial after he loses his smooth moves special power. He's got a trait, crash the Blackbird enough, you learn how to fix things. Don't know if that's how learning how to fix things works, by destroying them, but sure, Cyclops. Support is free, but only to target a character with the robot or vehicle keyword. // When Cyclops uses support as free, the chosen character can use ESD until your next turn. So I do like that a lot. Shout out to all the robots, all the vehicle keyword stuff. Handing out ESD is pretty cool, and free support is neat enough. His special defense, his stop click at click 7, is take off the glasses. Stop when this power is first revealed. After resolutions, choose a direct line of fire away from Cyclops that can't be blocked to the edge of the map. So just a direct line all the way to the map, can't be blocked. Destroy all blocking terrain along that line of fire, and then deal 2 penetrating damage to all characters along that line of fire. Then KO Cyclops. This rocks. This is just... Oh, what was that? You wanted your steak to have some seasoning, or like you didn't just want it cooked. You wanted it. Oh, it's flavorful. Oh boy, the flavor. Oh, the rich juices. It's so flavorful. Oh, I love it. Powers like this is why I play Heroclix. This is the stuff that I like. The flavorful, hilarious, big effects, or just ones that are just like, yeah, this is comic accurate. This is awesome. This is great. So boom, takes off his glasses. One last burst of energy. Just choose a line. Everything is destroyed. Deal a bunch of people 2 damage, and then Cyclops freaking dies after that. That rocks. He just knocks himself out with the one last burst of power. Like, I don't like Cyclops. This figure rocks. I really, like, that is hilarious. Where, like, an opponent is like, sure, if I do knock you to stop, that does mean I instantly get those 60 points. But at what cost? At what cost? You really got to look at your positioning before Cyclops just pops off on you one last time. It's a very unique Cyclops, one we have not really gotten before in a long time, and it's really cool. So I really like this piece. I think it'll be fun to play. I think it's great and sealed. It's a Pensai. It's a leadership. Really solid, really cool. Shooting through blocking terrain. It's just a unique Cyclops. I really enjoy it. Bravo. It's awesome. It's hilarious. It's fun.
Yeah. I just hope we can get the X-Men 97, like, Cyclops.
Oh,
where he
dude.
Scoots and boots himself with his
Boot Scoot Boogie.
eyes. Like,
I wish... Minor spoiler for X-Men 97. Skip forward 15 seconds. I wish he did that more. He just did that once. I loved that scene, but he only did it once. And I was like, come on, guys. Have him boot Scoot Boogie a little bit more. But yeah, I do agree. We need a Cyclops that moves like 5 times.
It's weird.
Knocks himself back or something crazy.
Oh, I like laser slightly down at an angle. It's like slams me back like at 25 miles an hour, 10 feet. Like, all right, what about when you take your glasses off and like a mile wide laser a sentinel?
Yeah.
Why does that
is
not like
true.
launch you miles backwards at like hundreds of miles an hour? You know, like, I don't know. It's a cool thing, and I'm glad they're introducing it and playing around with it, but it really does not make sense because like the premise of his powers is not that like there's some sort of connective tissue between him being like lasering and also like a force being pushed on him. It's supposed to be like his eyes open up like his eyes open up a little tiny portal to a universe that is just like filled with kinetic energy. There is no like force actually coming out of his eyes, so there should not be anything that like pushes him back. It's cool. It's a cool concept. It just opens up like a realm of why doesn't he get whiplash? Why is his neck not broken at this point? You know, Dang. What
That
the
is-
neck muscles do, Cyclops. How you so strong, your whole neck can support your body weight and slide you around. Anyway.
Oh, Cyclops got the strongest neck on the planet. That's facts.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be able to do that. 045 is Jean Grey. She's got the X-Men team ability. She's got Phoenix Force, X-Factor, X-Force, X-Men, Cosmic keywords. She has a special trait and a special attack power that is breaking Xavier's restraints. Mind control. When Jean Grey uses it, she may target all opposing characters within range. If she does, after resolutions, deal her 2 unavoidable damage, some ye olde time unavoidable damage from mind control, some feedback damage, if you will. So that's a fun trait. And then she has a special attack power, her first 3 clicks, that is manipulating my surroundings. Telekinesis. If Jean Grey used telekinesis to place a friendly character this turn, she may be given a ranged terrain action as free. So you can place friendly, make an attack, same turn as free. So 1 power action, 2 things happen. Full dial of sidestep, mostly 8 speed, goes down to 6 on her last 2 clicks. She's got flight, she's got 10 attack, her whole dial. On clicks 4 through 6, she loses that special TK power and goes to precision strike. And then her whole dial is barrier, whole dial is enhancement. So for 50 points, nice little enhancement piece. Has sidestep TK top dial, has an entire dial of mind control, and you can potentially like burst attack everybody that's within range. Or whatever. Improved targeting, shoots out of adjacency, so that doesn't stop you either. Pretty decent. I think it's like a nice little a 50-point like little bomb to add to your team. Depending on what your opponent's playing, you could toss her up or just set her in wait and potentially, cause a bunch of damage if you can mind control everyone.
I really like her mind control power. Again, oh baby. The flavor of just Jean losing her control and just going nuts and just mind controlling everybody. It's very X-Men Evolution football game episode where everybody in the stands has just got massive headache because Jean's going nuts. And then she's obviously in pain too. So it's really cool. Just be like, burst, mind control everyone, deal 2 damage. Ow, that hurt. It's really cool. So I like it. I'm not a big fan of these free range terrain action things. They gave these to the Kamala Khans in the last set. Jean has it here. I don't know. Don't really use them that often, I guess. Maybe there'll be a more like better place for it in constructed versus in sealed. But overall, these effects have not been anything I've been like, whoa, man, so cool, very nice, So, but I do like Jean. Last rare, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mime Pool. Again, muy caliente, the flavor, it's nuts. Mime Pool's got Deadpool Core, Weapon X, Assassin, and Cosmic for some reason. He's got a trait, which is mouth zipper emoji, hand emoji, question mark. Power, once per game, choose an equipment on your sideline and equip it to Mime Pool. Kind of interesting. Basically, it just lets you cheat an equipment onto him. Instead of paying like the points to just automatically have it, instead it's power action, and then he can just have it. He's miming the equipment, I guess. And then his defense is double hands, nice, whatever that is, with brick emoji. But this is the classic mime in a box thing that mimes just love doing. Barrier of a Mime Pool uses it. He may generate a single terrain marker, 0 points instead of any other terrain marker. So that's kind of interesting. So he gets to bring out, I assume, right, just some weird terrain marker from any of the play-at-home kits or whatever. That's kind of cool. So he could just make like the round platform or something instead of just any of the other terrain markers. So that could be really neat. I kind of like the cheating of more power set here. So a full dial of Outwit. First 3 clicks are that special barrier power. Last 3 are regeneration. And then he does this speckled white space, black power, white space, black power. So stealth, nothing, stealth, nothing, stealth, nothing, etc. And then nothing, steal energy, nothing, steal energy, nothing, steal energy for his 6 clicks. So it's this really cool kind of checkered flag look to the top of his dial. And he's got 4 range. So that's Mime Pool. He's nothing crazy. He's black and white. It's kind of cool. I like the gimmick. I think it's really fun. And I think it's very Deadpool-y. And I think a lot of his value will then kind of come from whatever equipment you choose to give him. So again, he can, if this is like silver, he can just put a 30-point cube, 30-point gauntlet, whatever, just on himself automatically. That's kind of cool. Or you can give him all sorts of stuff. So maybe it's just, he's a fun figure to build around. And again, any figure that's worth building around, probably worth seeing what they can do. So Mind Pool's pretty neat. But then that is the CUR from Deadpool Weapon X, and thus ending this episode of Dial H for Heroclix, because hot dog, it's pretty late. It's pretty late right now.
It is, yeah. It's went on a bit longer than we expected for CUR, but
for sure. But you know, we kind of in an episode that just focuses on the CUR, we kind of, I think, gave everybody their due, talked about them. I don't think we just glazed over anybody and we're just like, whatever, you know, kind of passed them by. I think we talked about them enough. Feels all right. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to get some sealed product or singles when it comes out, make sure you check out coolstuffing.com. They have the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Use code DIAL5 when you do to save 5% off. Or if you want to go direct to the source, you can go to shop.whizkids.com. Use code DIALH10. Doesn't work on pre-orders, but does work on not pre-orders, whatever those are. Works on non-specialty figures, non-iconics figures. Like, there's a lot of options. So make sure you try the code before you buy, because it might work. So it's Dial H10 at shop.whizkids.com to save 10% off.
For all your Heroclix podcasts, YouTube videos, needs, and more, make sure you dial H. And like always, happy trails.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix.
help.
Ooh.
Not going there.
That's how numbers work. Over 6 people think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America. That was just you in a costume. Well, the rest of these days,